In a realm known as Kamandra, an ancient civilization, a warrior named Raya is determined to find the last dragon.
Welcome to the Walt Vault with Andre,
Michelle,
Emily,
And Luis.
We are a family-friendly podcast where each and every week we watch and review a different Disney movie. Be sure to subscribe on all podcast platforms and YouTube. Enjoy the show. Hello and welcome to the Walt Vault, episode 141.
what you for?
141.
One.
Mm-hmm.
You sound like Archimedes. Was that his name? Archimedes?
Yes, the owl.
Owl.
The owl from...
Now you're a Dutch owl.
What's it called? Sword in the Stone.
The owl.
The owl.
now you're German.
Now,
Yeah.
hold on, he's
Van for van.
Dude.
Now you're evil German, dude.
You know how Andre does really good
Yoo-hoo.
accents? Freaking when we were in Epcot, he was in Norway trying to just be like, we've in Norway. I'm like, please, you're embarrassing.
What was I saying?
Just stuff.
This is the way to Norway.
Charles.
Yeah.
Yeah. We like bread. Yeah.
It's cold here.
He's
Hello.
cold.
Moving on.
This week
Need
we
summer blowout.
are talking about the brand new 2021 Disney animated film Raya and the Last Dragon.
Yeah, Raya and the Last Dragon. That's what we talking about.
It just came out.
Like 3 days ago?
Like a couple days ago. It is available on Disney Plus through their Premier Access $30 a purchase thingamabob.
And for everybody complaining about $30, if it's you and a couple kids, you would probably spend more in the theater. I mean, this movie was good, so I'll pay for it again.
That is...
I did not feel that way about Mulan. I was like, man, I wasted my money. And this one, I was like, okay.
Well, and here's, like, let's talk about that for a second. So if you listen to our Mulan episode, there was, like, this whole thing with somebody on our podcast. It was like, I'm not going to watch that because I want to pay for it, blah, blah, blah. And that person is still not seen this movie.
Okay.
The Mulan.
Which is fine, but he wasn't on that episode. But that person did watch it this time.
Oh. Very
So he will
interesting.
be on this
Well,
episode.
you definitely picked the better one to watch, Lou.
Yeah, this is the one. This is
So
the
let's
one for
let's get into it then.
$30.
I want to give my first impression first.
Oh, by the way, this is a brand new movie, and it's only available for purchase right now. So we are going to spoil it if you don't
yeah,
want to
don't listen to
spoilers.
this if you
Should
haven't
we-
watched the movie.
Should we give a non-spoiler first impression just
No.
for the people to... Okay, you guys
No.
can kick rocks then.
This
Michelle says,
is your-
suck it.
Yeah.
This is your warning. Don't listen to this episode if you haven't seen this movie, or if you're planning on not buying the movie and you want to hear the movie, then listen to this episode.
Yeah, there's that too.
Yeah. So I want to give my first impression first because it's very interesting to me that I've been into like Asian culture movies lately. So you guys convinced me to watch Avatar, and I was like, no, I don't think I'm gonna like anime, although it's not like super
It's
anime.
really not anime,
but that's what I thought it was, you
for
know.
sure.
And I loved it. And then I watched Legends of Korra, and I loved it. And we watched some of those movies, babe. What are those movies? Like Kiki and
Yeah. Kiki's Delivery Service, My Neighbor
Totoro.
Totoro,
what?
Kurosawa? No, that's not it either.
What's the
Hang
brand,
on,
the
goodness
movies?
gracious.
Don't look at me. I don't know.
I don't know. Andre knows. So, anyways, I've kind of been on a kick with that lately. And so then when the trailer for Raya,
Miyazaki movies. Excuse
okay,
me.
whatever. And then the trailer for Raya and the Last Dragon came out, and I was like, yes, because Mulan let me down. When I was
for
like,
sure.
I'm ready to see some kung fu fighting. I'm
Yeah.
ready to see, just like something really cool.
Especially because it was live action. Like we had so much potential. For
so
like,
I didn't want to go into this with too high of expectations because I thought I was going to get let down again. And also in the trailers, I thought the dragons looked weird because they had fur.
Yeah.
I was like, why does that dragon have fur? It's not a dragon. And
She was
Andre and I had a
adamantly-
very long conversation. I was like, that's not a dragon.
She was like, no, that's
And
not
he
a
was like,
dragon.
look at the dragons. The Chinese dragons, they have like hair, like beards. And I was like, they don't have fur. Oh. So despite the furry dragons, I really liked this movie. I thought it was really good. I would watch it again. I actually kind of want to watch it again because I always like watching it the second time more. Like the first time gets me the situation, and then the second time is like, ooh, I kind of know what's going on now.
Anytime someone says the situation, I think of Jersey.
Oh gosh. Anyways,
I can't help
Abs.
it.
Kelly Marie Tran and Awkwafina did an amazing job. They're like the new duo of Anna and Elsa. Oh wait, no, they're not. No, the two princesses, Raya and Namari. That's Anna and Elsa right there. Okay, they're like sisters, but they're not, and they don't like each other. It's really cool. I really like them. I really liked the
They're
movie.
more like the Cheetah Girls, but
Yeah, I really liked the movie. It didn't let me down. I had a lot of fun watching it, and I'll watch it again. Yeah, Emily,
don't go with me second.
Luis.
I enjoyed it a lot, actually. More so than probably Ems.
Oh no!
But I can't speak for her.
Okay.
I see.
That's it, Luis. You liked it?
Awkwafina's voice is very hard to get used to at first.
See, I've seen her in a
Okay.
lot of stuff, so I feel like I'm used to it at this
No,
point.
every time I see her in something, it's like I gotta.
Yeah.
It's like, that first mixed drink you have is just, you just need to power through it, and then after that it's just.
Well, I think it's
smooth
because
sailing.
she's like Samuel L. Jackson. That sounds stupid because no, but I mean,
Wait
like
a
when you
second.
hear the voice,
Okay.
it's
You
like
know it.
you know it, and it's like you see the person's face
Mhm.
more than you see the character.
Well, the person looked like her
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, they definitely.
a lot of it.
They
to me.
definitely.
well, in her
adapted
in
it.
her teeth and stuff, like
Yeah.
her mouth looked like her.
Mhm.
But like, you know what I mean? Where you hear the voice and you see the face, and then you're like, okay, hold on, it's animated. You kind of have to adjust it in your mind a
Right.
little bit.
She
Anyhow.
is
That didn't
Awkwafina.
super bother me. I'm gonna let you go last, Andre. First impression.
First impression. I like this movie a lot. Actually, it was a pretty. I don't want to say run of the mill story, but it was very like tropey in its storytelling. So there weren't a lot of surprises.
Yeah, it was predictable.
However, the concept of the movie, all of the background, the world building, I felt was all really, really good, and the performances were strong, and the visuals were off the hook in this
Off the
movie.
charts.
Off
I agree.
the charts. I really liked the way this movie looked.
Very good, Emily.
Okay,
I'm
so it was
nervous
a
now.
movie.
Aha!
Oh no.
And,
It was a movie.
I would really appreciate if this was an explicit episode because I
Wow.
have so many bleep me things to say about this movie.
Oh.
I did not like it. No, didn't like it.
Interesting.
Sorry. I okay, you know what? Come at me. I did not like it.
Oh no.
I have major issues.
I'm really surprised.
I have
Okay.
major effing issues with this movie.
Major issues.
I just did not enjoy it. I agree with everything Andre said. It was tropey.
Mm-hmm.
It was super predictable.
It was predictable.
And-
I thought it was cute predictable.
And it was beautiful. I'll give it that.
Mhm.
But like, I have major issues that I could not get past, and it was like from the moment it started,
From the
I was
jump.
like, I'm just not. And I think that because it started right at the beginning, my issues,
Mhm.
I couldn't get over
You
it.
just they
Which-
held on.
I won't lie.
I'm
Maybe
surprised.
the second time I'll like it more. Maybe.
Sure.
But like, I could never watch this movie again and be fine with that.
Mm.
Which I feel like is pretty. Like, I don't know.
That's really sad because, I mean, I'll say it right now that it has a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes. It has been very well received by the Asian community and
Well, good
other
for them.
communities too,
Yeah.
and also LGBTQ communities. So
I'm gonna be honest with you though, I didn't get it. Like the whole Asian thing, it was very confusing at first.
well, there was
First
lots
off,
of different kind of
Don't
Asians
think
on there.
about it.
Mhm.
What region was it from?
Southeast Asia.
Right.
Be specific.
Well, that's the thing, is that
That's
it
it.
isn't specific.
Southeast
it's
Asia.
all of those cultures mixed
Yeah,
into
like
this
there
movie.
was like some
I got that at
Indians,
first,
some
but it was dropped
Filipinos, some
off.
Vietnamese.
What do you mean?
It dropped off after a while. At first, I was like, wait, it's all this little melting pot right there. But then after that, it seems strictly like Cambodian Vietnamese.
Well, I have to
me.
think about the fact that it's a fictional world, and I'm trying to think of them as like separate tribes. So that's probably why they all kind of seemed a little different.
Right.
That's
or,
my
or
number-
all samey.
That's my number one. Okay, not number one, but that's one of my major issues with this movie is that the cultural depictions are, to me, confusing.
Right.
And I'm cool with it being like each tribe being like a different Asian culture. Like that,
I think that's kind of what they were trying to do.
it's okay. Like that's fine. But like if it's a made up world, which it is, right?
Right.
I would appreciate it
Kumandra.
if it was more made up, because I feel like Raya, she's beautifully drawn, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like she literally looks like a white drawn princess with melanin. Like she doesn't.
I didn't get that.
So to me, I just don't think she looked like any more or less Asian than any other character. Like if they're gonna be Asian, like make them more Asian. And
Well,
so
I
like
think it's
Sisu
because it's
looked
like
Asian, and so
Southeast
did
Asia. She was supposed to be more like tribal-ish to me.
maybe
She almost seemed like Moana-ish to me.
right, and that's
Which is
another
like Pacific
issue is
Islander.
that I loved Moana, right? And right at the beginning, I was like, "This looks just like Moana." Like the what do you call it? The kind of storytelling background piece reminded me of Moana, and so I think the whole time I was kind of like comparing them in my own head.
Right.
And I will say though, I'm happy there's no singing in this movie.
I said I agree
I do
with
not
that.
think that
Yeah.
that would have played well.
I
with,
don't
like,
think
the
it needed
tense-
singing.
It's interesting because we were watching it and Michelle mentioned the same thing, like, "Oh, I'm glad there's no singing in this movie." And I was
Because
like,
I liked the background music. I was like,
but I immediately, like, my brain like flipped a switch and I imagined like the whole thing as if it was a musical, right? And the format fits it for it all perfectly. And I'm really glad that they didn't make it a musical as well, because I think that would have been
I think it would have been too much.
Yeah. Well, because there was a lot of tense. I don't what tensity isn't a word, but like tense moments and like it just would have like taken it off into some, I don't know.
That's interesting that you feel that way, because I don't agree with it, but this will be fun then, because we don't agree, which is nice sometimes to like get two perspectives, you know. I thought it depicted Asian cultures very well.
Well, that's the thing, is that
But it feels fictional to me. Like I
Right.
wasn't like, oh, that's Filipino, or oh, that's Vietnamese,
Right.
or oh, that's, you know, like I wasn't thinking that at all, because I don't really know that kind of culture, you know, but I was like, oh, this is cool.
it's
But I
almost
know it's
interesting.
fictional.
So did you read something specifically that said like Asian communities were giving it praise and stuff like that? Because like it's kind of, it almost feels like a shortcut that Disney is taking, right? To
Appease people.
right, and like, you know, you put like, let's compare it to like Black Panther, right? Where Black Panther takes place in Africa. And that's all you get. You don't really know exactly where it takes place in Africa, and it's a fictional country there, and so they can put in all of the stuff that they want from it, no matter what. They had a whole bunch of different colored tribes as well. You know what I'm saying? And you can look at it, especially from an American perspective, and go, boom, that's Africa, or boom, that's Southeast Asia, without having to get into the specifics of somebody who might actually be from there and go like, well, they got this fool from over here 500 miles north of this fool that's over here, and he's right next door, and they're speaking the language, and it's mixed together and stuff like that. So
maybe it was easier for them to do a fictional world.
Right.
And the language that they were speaking was made up. Like when they were speaking, like saying things.
Yeah.
It was made up.
Yeah.
I read that too. So they were just like,
Well,
did
and
their
I
own
think
thing.
that's, again, this, I mean, I'm not going to act like I'm an Asian expert, because Lord knows I'm not.
I'm
but
definitely
like,
not.
Having
No.
watched a lot of like, I suppose Asian fighting stuff, like in my previous
martial arts
years,
movies.
like some of it felt like Tibetan, and some of it felt like Indian.
Well, they
and
were
some of it-
definitely mixing fighting styles for
right.
sure.
And
For
then
sure.
some of it felt like samurai, which is like Japanese-esque.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like it just didn't flow for me personally.
Word.
But I thought that like a lot of the ideas were cool. How they like mixed it together, and how like the tribes were part of the dragon, like that was cool.
Right.
But I don't know. I feel kind of like they did take some shortcuts, and I feel like ever since, maybe it's previous to that, but I feel like ever since Princess and the Frog came out, it's like they're trying to gloss over some things to like make
Right.
up for like reception, which I mean, of course you want to
Yeah.
make sure that your audience is enjoying and being, I don't know. I don't know.
I understand what you're saying. And so while we're on this conversation, then let's have these conversations first before we get into the movie, because I like where this is going.
Yeah.
So
Did you say
I-
yeet?
Yeet.
he just said yeet. I don't think he said
Okay.
yeet.
I did not
Because-
say yeet.
He should have said bet.
Don't add the T. I can't
Bet.
handle it.
I thought as a fictional world that this would be better as a TV show than a movie. You could do like
Yeet.
some stuff from each tribe's perspective, like have one character at each one, and then when they come together, now they're like a team. And then, you know, they go on an adventure to find the dragon and to find the pieces of the gem. Like, it made more sense to me as a TV show. And if they could have put a lot of effort into a TV show that was like this theme, it probably would have been really sick.
I actually agree with that.
Right.
Because then they could have dived a little bit deeper into each of the issues that I have a problem with.
Hmm.
Okay.
And I told Andre, I was like, well,
That's a
okay.
unique perspective.
We
and
saw
I
like
that.
one dragon, and then we got a whole bunch of dragons at the end, but I didn't get enough of them. Like, why didn't they come back? Why didn't they? Why were they symbiotic before? Because I don't really get it. You know, so like they could dive more like into that too. Where I was thinking like, oh, this would be a cool TV show. So maybe they'll do. I don't think they will, but they could, and I might like it.
I think it's very possible that they can and will. Especially if this movie makes them any kind of money, I think that they'll invest in the characters. And I bet them diving into a TV show versus a sequel right after, like instead of doing a Frozen 2, they did a Frozen the 12 episode season or whatever.
But I wouldn't have liked that. Like, I can't see that being a TV show. But.
Yeah, I don't know, but if they do that with Raya, I can see it happening, especially because they announced so many of these other animated shows based on movies.
They might. Who knows?
You know.
So the other conversation topic that I guess we can have now is that it was never explicitly stated, and I don't think it will probably ever be explicitly stated in animation movies for a while, honestly, or like in freaking Korra, where they never explicitly stated it, is that there was supposed to be some love kind of vibes going on between Raya and Mari in this,
Right.
which they were very flirty and things like that. And Kelly Marie Tran said like, oh yeah, they were definitely like having some vibes going on. And I was like, well,
I did not get that.
if they were going to,
see, I felt it.
I felt it like
pretty
from the
hard.
beginning,
Yeah.
where I was like, they are flirting a lot, like a lot, and I still felt like it.
It's funny that you say that, because that's another, I'm not going to say it's like a major issue of the story for me, but like I could not place their age at that point in the movie, so I think that's why I don't think that they were flirting.
Wait, like at the beginning?
At the beginning, like pre what do you call that? Distrust.
I think they were
moment.
like preteen,
I was thinking that they were like 13.
13, yeah.
So, okay. The only reason I disagree, which the way that they progress the story, they would have to be preteen, right? Because it was 6
Because they
years
were like
later,
an adult.
and now they're like
And now
full
they're grown
adults,
up, yeah.
right? So I
Okay.
get what you're saying on that.
Mhm.
But the way they were drawn, to me, in relation to the other characters, they were literally midgets.
Right, like little-
Yeah.
super small.
They
Itty
were
bitty
really
babies.
short.
They looked
yeah.
like 7 or 8 year olds
Sure.
the way they were drawn. But then they were talking about like economic crisis and
Right.
like really advanced conversations. So to me, I just felt like there was a disparity
mean,
between the way
maybe-
they were drawn and how old they were supposed to be.
Maybe they were only supposed to be like 15 or 16 at the end, but if they were, then how did Namari get all those muscles? Because she
Oh
looked
no, and they
like
look,
an adult.
they look like they're in their 20s for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why I thought like 13 to 19 was the age gap jump there. I could see them.
I can see how that would be confusing.
see some of the younger ones being like the new young leaders of
Sure.
their countries.
Which,
or
and I'm
whatever.
cool with that. But then I think because I was thinking they were younger, that not that young kids can't be flirty, but like I just wasn't, my brain wasn't there because I was
Sure.
thought they were a lot younger.
Yeah.
I
think-
got flirty vibes the whole time.
Yeah, I think mixed.
Now I
I
need-
didn't get flirty.
You didn't
I
get
think
flirty
you got to
vibes?
go back and watch it.
They're
now.
they're kids. They're just
No,
you
but
know,
even
hanging
when they
out.
were older, I was getting flirty vibes.
Okay, so maybe when they were older, there were flirty vibes, but not as kids.
Luis and Luis
You
and I-
flirt as a kid. I did.
Right.
I think
think
because Luis and I have kids now, we're like, hey, not
Were
having
you
no
falling
11-year-old.
in love with other girls when you were playing with them at 10 or what?
She was
'Cause
like 13, and yes, I was definitely flirting with boys at 13.
I said girls.
Yeah, but
I'm
that's
not a
But I
lesbian,
mean-
though.
That's not
So
Michelle's.
that's my point. They were just interacting like normal teenagers would.
I mean,
Later on, they may have developed feelings for each other, but that's fine.
But they could have still been
But
flirting.
early on, hell no.
I think that
You're so funny, Luis. Your 13-year-old daughter's definitely gonna flirt with you.
I felt the flirtiness when they're meeting each other, right? So story starts, blah 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 blah, fight, protect the gym. All the countries come together and arrive at the Land of Heart. And so Raya makes a statement. She meets with Namari, the girl from Fang.
Yeah. You're right.
And then
Fang sounds hecka cool too.
and so when they first see each other, they're like, "Oh snap, a kid my age. That's cool." Right?
Yeah.
I see that immediately. And then they start talking to each other and they start nerding out about dragons and stuff like that. I was like, "Okay, they've made a connection." And then she gives her the gift of the dragon necklace or whatever, and then is betrayed by her. So I think between the connection of feeling like someone who's just like me and the gift and then the betrayal, those things lead to, in my mind, Raya having feelings for Namari. Right?
I agree with that.
Okay, maybe not that I want
know
to,
what?
but maybe I rewatch it for that purpose to like see if I feel that. But
Now that I'm really thinking about
'Cause
it,
she
I
was so
100%
betrayed, you know?
Disagree with you all. Like
100% disagree.
I'm not saying it's true because they didn't explicitly say it.
That's
but
the thing
I'm
as well.
saying that it could be interpreted that way.
Right. And
'cause
I think
held some resentment to former friends of mine who have betrayed me, but that doesn't mean I'm gay.
I think no,
No,
no, it doesn't.
No,
mean
we're
some.
not
But-
saying
and
that. We're
that's-
definitely not
that's
saying
definitely
that.
not
But
what I'm
if that
saying.
was their like, I mean, I don't know. Like,
I'm just saying.
I think that if
all I should
Namari
say-
had been a boy, and that same exact scene played out,
Oh
we
yeah, they
definitely
would
would've
have the
been like,
hots for
they
each
were
other.
they were flirty. They had the hots for each other. He betrayed her, and then it was.
and
it
now
was-
she still has feelings for him, but she's like super pissed
I
Yes,
that.
agree
gang
with
time.
that statement.
You know what I'm
for
saying?
Sure, what
So-
you're saying.
So I think they put those characters in that exact situation, and because they didn't say, they don't have to, let
Say
us know.
anything.
Right? They don't have to say anything.
And even because Kelly Marie Tran was like, "Yeah, I got those vibes," it doesn't mean
Right.
anything.
I think
Yeah.
the fact
But
that
it's just
they-
a way that it could be interpreted.
That's
But
interesting.
I had also read that before we went into this movie, Emily. So I made the comment to Andre, and so we also could have been watching it thinking that because we had already read that comment.
Honestly, in my mind, I'm kind of just waiting for it to happen with every movie that they come
For
out
sure.
with. now.
They could have had
You
a
know?
kiss at the end, and I would have been like, okay,
Right. It would have
Yeah.
made perfectly fine
just like they
sense to
should have
me.
done with freaking Legends of Korra.
Because,
but whatever.
as more and more things progress and I mean, there's been gay teenagers since the beginning of time, right?
Yeah.
They're out there. So for them to be represented in a Disney movie is just a matter of time in my mind. So the fact that
Yeah,
it didn't
eventually.
happen necessarily in this is like, okay, well, we'll see what's coming up next with that. What's the Pixar one with the red blood monster or whatever, the period thing that's
what
coming
are
out.
you talking
You guys
about?
remember that? I think it's called like Turning Red or something like that.
I have
Blood
no
period
idea
It's-
what you're
it's the-
talking
it's the
about.
next-
I was like, Luca?
It's the next. Oh yeah, it's not. It's after Luca.
Oh, good
Um,
God.
I have no what are you talking about?
Mermando.
I bet Luis
It's
was
called-
pissed when
it's called
the
Re-
dragon was swimming home.
It's called Red Panda. So
Red
Ah, man, I love
Panda?
that dragon.
Thank you.
He did like the dragon.
I really liked the
Turning
dragon,
Red.
too.
I was right. It is
So
super.
let's get into this
Red
storyline
period monster. I need
because
to know about this. Go ahead.
I don't ever want to watch that. Whatever you're showing
It's a
me right
Pixar movie. What do
I
you mean you
don't
don't ever want to
give
watch
two
it?
shits about watching it.
Stop cursing.
Let me
Sorry.
see. What is it?
That's
No,
a
it's-
freaking
it's-
raccoon or
It's a
something.
Pixar movie. It's going to come out in a couple years. It's after Luca.
It's going to come
Right.
out.
Yeah. So we talked about it when we did the
We've
crack
never talked about
episode.
this.
The crack episode about all the things.
And
that
I
they
bet we
announced.
all of us said that sounds stupid.
Yeah, I think you guys did say.
That's why I
something
don't
like
remember. I put it out of my brain.
I blocked that.
So I think overall, the way that they set the scene for this movie, I liked. I actually liked the opening scene with like the different kind of animation where they kind of like set the scene like that, and they were telling about the legend, right? So
Yeah.
we were Kumandra, humans and dragons lived in harmony. Like they're setting the stage for me, which I usually like when movies open that way. I'm like, okay, cool. I know what's going on. I'm getting the vibe of this land. I hear the music in the background. I know what we're doing. So
I
I
hear the
liked that,
music.
but you said you had a qualm right away. So
Yeah.
is it with that?
I don't like I felt like it was very similar to Moana, like with the tapestry-esque thing. I don't like it when I feel like I've seen it in something so similar, like in a similar way. Yeah. Especially like Disney on Disney. Like if it was a DreamWorks movie, then I'd be like, okay.
If it was Ants in a Bug's Life,
it'd be like, all right. Like you do you.
I mean, I got Moana vibes sometimes throughout the movie, like even the way her hair, like sometimes the texture of her hair, I was like, man, they spent a lot of time on her hair, just like they did Moana, you know? So I made a couple Moana comments, but I mean, I didn't think it was so similar in that way. But, so basically Kumandra was a place, and then it broke into 5 tribes, and his heart, and
they're all
and talon,
parts of dragon.
and tail, and...
Fang, heart, spine, talon, and tail.
Spine and talon. Those are the 2 I can't remember because those sound weird. So there was like a big battle, and there was like these Droon things, and Andre was getting Kingdom Hearts vibes from that.
Oh, show.
They
I
definitely
never
look
played
like Heartless.
that, but it for show.
You never played Kingdom Hearts?
Well, I mean, Mary Angela brought it over, and I played it here, but like I didn't play it like on my own.
Yeah.
Right.
But Andre was like,
day.
oh, Droon is like Kingdom Hearts. Oh.
Yeah, the Droon are big purple fire monsters.
It's also weird to me because I think they don't really explain what the Droon are until they make one statement like, oh, they're the
discord of man.
Okay.
They're man at war and arguing and not trusting one another.
And I feel like that's some Kingdom Hearts crap to do.
I
Because
mean,
I was like, what are those things? You're like, well, they're kind of like... I'm like, okay. If it's too hard to explain, then it's a little difficult.
Yeah, you know, when your heart is destroyed, then you become a heartless monster called a Heartless, and then you use
but you're actually still alive.
dark
and
magic energy, and you could possibly
too confusing
be brought
for
back,
me.
and there's
So.
unknowns.
You're an Agatha, okay.
Yeah. So the Droon, if it like touches you or like goes through you, you turn to stone.
Right.
The like great stone dragon.
Like a gargoyle.
Yeah, it was giving me big time gargoyle vibes in the beginning, because all the dragons turned to stone once
we
the
may or may
Droon
not be
took
eating
over.
Girl Scout cookies while we do this.
Hashtag always snacking.
Probably.
Yeah, there's cookies being passed around. So the Droon are coming for everybody, and so
and they're purple because purple and lime green are evil.
Sure.
In Disney.
And so the final few
2 cool colors. Evil.
the final few dragons make their sacrifice, and then the Sisu, the last dragon,
puts all of her energy into a stone
into a
and
gem.
it saves the world.
Yes, and
Can save the world.
it brings all of the people who were turned to stone back to life, but all the dragons stay stony. You know what I mean?
Stone.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Stony.
So now the story begins.
You make me want to watch Mulan. Stop
I love
it.
it so much.
The story begins, and it's 500 years later. The different regions of Kumandra have split apart into their separate tribes, and they each
Hate each other.
Yeah, they all are unhappy with one another. The gem resides in the heart land area, and the people who live
They're
there
the guardians of the dragon.
are the guardians of the dragon gem. Yes, that's what I was trying to get to.
Which is a cool concept.
Yeah, so
I was like, "Ooh, she training? Is she trying to be a ninja?" But no, she's just guarding that gem.
right. So we see Raya train against Chief Benja, who happens to be her father.
Her dad he pretty good looking. He was a Disney
A
dad.
Disney dad, Daniel Day Kim.
Which is hilarious because I've immediately was like, I know who that actor is.
Who it be?
Who it be? It'd be the guy from Hawaii Five-0.
It's the dude from Lost, and he's out here.
Jin.
Yeah, that's right.
Jin from Lost. He didn't know a lick of English.
Really?
He is quote unquote. He spoke Korean in that movie.
Right,
But
right,
then he knew English.
Well,
But
he's
But
a,
then
Disney-
what's
Disney,
it
he's a
matter?
Disney
I
dad
wasted
now.
8 years of
Yeah.
my life on a show where they died on the first episode.
Luis is still
so.
upset.
Lost
about
is
that.
nuts.
Lost thing. So is Andre.
Well, he was on Hawaii Five-0 being like a
I
Disney
literally
dad over there.
was
A
in high
Hawaiian Disney
school
dad.
losing my girlfriend because I would be watching this show while I'd be talking to her, and she'd
Thank
be like,
you, Lost,
"Are you
for
paying
making
attention?"
Luis lose his
I'm
girlfriend.
like, yeah, I'm paying attention. You don't pay attention to me. You're watching Lost. Hung up.
Bye, girl.
Hey, gotta find out what's on this island.
Didn't
What do these
care.
numbers mean?
Didn't
A
care.
bunch of dead
Kept
people.
watching.
And these are the men we have married.
Who is the smoke monster?
Kept watching. Didn't care.
I literally have never watched this
Me
show.
either, and I don't think I will. So
Well, since we know the secret.
Yeah, we already know the secret. It's ruined.
I mean, you got to go along for the ride, you guys. It's all about the ride. So
Nah.
in Kumandra,
We all died. That's the ride.
Raya's dad is explaining that, like, hey, wouldn't it be nice if, like, everybody could just get together and get along? Wouldn't it be nice? Can't we all get along?
I totally was going to sing that.
He makes a soup with ingredients from all of the lands, and he's like, "Come on, this soup is delicious."
Right, we're gonna eat. Let's share a meal with these fools.
I did want to eat this soup.
The soup looked
And Raya's like, cool, we're
I
gonna
love
poison
soup.
them. That was funny.
I love soup, dude.
So yeah, once again, all the tribes arrive, and they're like, "What's your plan? What's the game, Benja? What's going on over here in Heartland?" And then he's like, "Hey, let's just all everybody chill out. Let's hang out. Let's have a good time." And they're like, "No, we don't like that at all."
Well, I'm trying to think of like what it would be relatable to. So like these tribes have been split up for 500 years, and all of a sudden the chief of heart is like, "But we can be Kumandra again." Like if I was them, I'd be like, "He's crazy.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
you're
I
trying
mean,
to trick me into something."
it's a
you
hard,
know, so.
it's a hard pill to swallow. And he didn't bring a gift. Did he bring a gift?
No
Yeah.
gift. Well, they didn't bring gifts, but he brought the gift of soup.
Oh, that's true. He did. He fed them. Yeah, I like soup too.
Andre and I really like
The
soup.
dude when he said like, "Who's hungry?" and the one dude raises his hand.
That was Andre.
That's me.
Andre and I really like soup. Okay, It's really
Luis
good.
hates soup. which
I
is
know
so
he does,
funny.
but he liked my chicken taco soup I made.
Yeah.
My chicken tortilla soup.
That was
That
delightful.
was good. Soup is good.
I do like soup, and that one looked very good.
It did look
I
good.
love Asian spicy soups.
I'm very pro soup. So, they.
I'm anti-soup.
We're gonna make shirts #pro soup, #anti soup. It's just Louis'
so-
face, but it's like he's like the meatball in
It's
the
the
soup bowl.
It's
and
the
it
same
says
face on the old man
anti-soup.
negative shirt, but with
Which is
soup underneath. So, Raya talks to Damari. They nerd out about dragons. They either vibe or don't vibe, depending on your opinion of them. And then
I thought they were vibing. Okay, so they were like,
I thought they were vibing.
I
over
like
Sisu.
Sisu, and I like Sisu too. And then she just gave her Sisu necklace.
like, whoa, tight.
That's a move right there.
I'm
That's
just
like
saying, isn't that what you do
here
at
my
your raves?
necklace.
Here's my candy.
Yeah, but that's just
You'd
little
be
beads. This
surprised
was like
how
a
many of those girls
Sisu
end up making out
necklace.
later in the night. You know
It's
what I'm
true.
saying?
That is true.
It happens a lot.
yeah, yeah.
So Raya decides to take Namari to go see something cool. You want to see something cool? She takes her to where the
And
the
Andre
dragon
and I
gem
immediately
is.
were like, well, that was dumb.
Oh, girl, you
so
done
the
messed
movie
up.
is predictable. Like,
Right.
there was never a moment where I didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they go in there and Namari's like, guess what? You've led right into my trap. And she attempts to steal the gem. Everybody comes in and they're like, hey, you're still in the gem? We want to steal the gem. Move over. And they all start fighting. Benja,
Chief Benja's like, come on, guys.
guys, chill. let's all just chill for a
Stop
second.
fighting.
I'm gonna put my sword down like this.
And his sword
okay?
is sick. He flies in, like, from the roof of the volcano
He
on
has a
that sword.
Very cool sword. It's an extendable.
Like a rope sword.
Yeah, it's a rope sword.
Very cool. That
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
probably the
I like
coolest
the
part of
sword.
this movie was the sword.
I like the sword.
I want that sword to be like, shing, shing.
So he comes in, and as soon as they start fighting, does the June pop out or does the gem break first?
No,
No.
they break the gem
gotta
first.
break it.
They all break the gem.
They drop the gem.
They
and it
drop it. They
breaks.
break it.
They're a bunch of idiots.
It's like the
And then the
prophecy
Droon
dropping in
comes
Harry
out.
Potter.
Yeah, the ground starts shaking. The water went away. You killed the gem. The Droon is back.
Droon have returned. So the Droon is relentless. They start stoning people. They're like, stone, you're stone, you're stone, 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 stone.
How come when they get stoned?
skipped.
How come when they get stoned? You guys can't see me, but they all look like this.
They go into the offering pose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not all of them.
Well, yes. All of them do it except for the last
At the
four
very
characters
end.
at the end.
Yeah.
Oh,
Every single other person is
Was
in
doing
the-
it?
Is in
okay.
offer up pose. Offer me your soul
All right.
or
Yep.
whatever. Yeah.
Offer me your drone.
Mm-hmm.
Your heartless hot.
You're hot.
It's like the evil queen from Once Upon a Time where she literally takes their hearts. A bunch of creeps.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
just-
real hard.
It's kind of like that. So the Droon is laying waste. They're running through the Heartlands. Each one of the tribe grabs a piece of the gem,
Mhm.
and they're like, "Let's bounce!" And then they go back to their home countries. As
And
Raya,
it's like, did you not watch Pirates of the Caribbean first? The first one?
right, we're gonna have to get
Hello?
all these back. I know.
Every last piece.
Yeah. So they're making their way out of
Speaking of,
out
did
of
we
the
do
lands.
that movie on this podcast?
We
Yeah,
did the
we
first
did.
one, yes.
So good.
Right. We've been requested to do all of the sequels. Yeah, maybe 2 of those sequels. I don't know.
I'm just saying number 2 and number 3 were
Yeah,
pretty
maybe
good,
2 of
but
those sequels.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10
They could die.
were bleep me out.
Hey, it's me, Johnny Depp. I'm still here, and they're paying me more, so I've got more wine.
He
What's
does-
up?
He
I
does
am
not
still
sound like
so
that.
drunk.
Shout out.
He sounded like a beetle again.
Hey, it's me.
Ringo.
I'm in the sea. In an octopus's. All right. So
Ideal smell.
they're running out. Raya is with her dad, and her dad's like, my leg, because he got shot in the leg earlier. And then
Again, Mulan. My
right,
leg.
my leg. And he's like, Raya, go,
Oh, my
go
leg.
without me. I'm not gonna make it. And he tosses her off a bridge. He gives her his sword.
Because the Druins don't like water.
I'm so annoyed
Right.
with that. Like, why didn't you jump over, bro? Why?
Yeah, I mean, he could have jumped over too.
Leg, maybe?
No, you can jump
He
with
could
no
have.
leg.
He could have fallen over. Slide over.
Hmm.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
yeah, that makes sense. I can't
It's not
swim.
as dramatic.
My leg.
Well, of course, it's not as dramatic, but I'm just saying, like, in real time, you jump over.
So he gets
Yeah.
stony too,
Stone.
And then Raya falls into the water, and I guess she's all right after that because it
6
cuts to 6 years
years
later.
later. It was like the snap, okay? So, like, everybody
Yeah.
half stoned now. It's 6 years later.
That's what Luis said.
Right.
He's like,
It's crazy.
this the snap, and he goes, did they wake up and it's like been 6 years to them, or did they wake up immediately thinking?
It's like, oh, my knees. Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
Like-
Oh, I've been posing for so long.
And I was like, it has to be like they wake up thinking,
That it was today.
yeah,
Right,
because
They
when
did, 'cause
Sisu
I-
wakes up, she's
yeah.
like, what's happening?
yeah.
It worked.
I did it. It
y'all.
worked. Yeah, that's true.
I love
Um,
Sisu.
So yeah, Namari and Raya had mentioned when they were vibing earlier that legend says that Sisu is still out there. She's at the end of the river in Kamandra, and it's like, okay, well, there's like a gajillion rivers here. Which one is she at? I'm like, I don't know, man. Maybe at the one at the end of the tail. I don't know. We're gonna have to check them all.
I feel like that would be the smart one, like the
Yeah,
end
yeah,
of.
The river.
Anywho.
So
anywho.
6 years later, that's what Raya has been doing. She's been out
Took
here.
her a nice 6 years.
Tuk
Riding
Tuk.
on Tuk Tuk, who is a big giant armadillo
He's an
roly-poly-oly.
armadillo roly-poly.
I
Um,
wrote hedgehog roly poly that sounds like Sven from Frozen.
Yeah, they made his voice too deep.
Like,
Tuk Tuk. Yeah.
I like Tuk Tuk.
I like him
he's
too.
pretty freaking
He's pretty
cute.
cool. I want to.
It's a good way to get around.
Heck yeah. I did not realize it was Tuk Tuk until like the end. Well, not the end of the movie, but like the end of that rolling scene. Because I thought it was like a stone thing she had figured out, like a stone with like
Oh, some
like a
kind of-
unicycle
Yeah,
almost.
yeah.
And I
That's
was
not
like,
as cool
It's got
as
tiny
Tuk
little
Tuk.
pedals on the
yeah,
side.
I was like,
Tuk Tuk's way better.
I was like, oh, it's the thing.
That would be very
Oh,
funny.
nice. Anywho.
I
She
thought
was
it was cute.
It's much
riding
better
it
than
like
it's-
Jigsaw in the Saw movies.
It's so much better than it's Tuk Tuk and all that.
Yeah, so Tuk Tuk, her little buddy, is rolling along with her, and she has been searching each and every river, hoping to come across Sisu, because Raya ended up with one of the gem pieces as well. So it's 6 years later. She's all grown up now, and she's looking cool. She's got a hat,
Mhm.
She's got a cape.
Mm-hmm.
She got her whole superhero outfit on, basically.
I can't even read my notes out loud because there's so many
Some expletives in there.
bleepables. We can put them on the crack in the vault. Y'all can read my stuff.
So she makes it to the last river end, right? And she's like, I've been doing this for the last 6 years. I really hope this works, because otherwise I don't know what else I'm going to do. And so she starts her prayer, and it works. The water starts starts flowing in the opposite direction it's supposed to flow.
And
It-
out pops
it all
a Sisu.
collects into a Sisu bubble. She pops out. It's like, what's up?
Literally, I love Awkwafina. I know Luis
really
is
do.
saying like he has an issue with her voice, but once you're like, she's really funny.
I don't.
Have
think
you
it's
seen
any-
Crazy Rich Asians?
Heck yeah.
She's so funny.
I
on
don't
that
think
movie.
he has a problem with her voice. It's just because we've
It's
seen her in other things.
eccentric.
You're like, it is just like you just think of her in those roles,
Right.
and then you're like, hold on, I got to think of her as a fluffy dragon now.
Yeah,
You know?
Yeah.
you're right. I mean,
He likes her because oh my god, we loved Crazy Rich Asians.
I love that. I actually want to watch that movie again. It was
that
really
movie
good.
was very funny.
It's very funny.
Anyhow,
She was funny in Jumanji too.
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's right. And then
Dude.
the second new Jumanji movie.
Jumanji did.
Yeah.
what character was she in that?
She was like the person who had been there for
Was it
years and years, right?
I think so.
I don't remember that now.
Yeah, I kind of can't remember either.
Anyways, I like Awkwafina.
Yeah,
And I
no,
like her as a blue fluffy dragon. And the color of blue she is like my favorite color.
So how long
Ever.
did it take
Cute.
you to be cool with the way the dragons look?
Like after the first
Like
scene.
the end of the movie.
No, like after the first scene. Like it took me like maybe halfway through the movie, and then I was like, it's fine.
Right.
You mean when she was a person, not a fluffy dragon? anymore?
No, I actually didn't really like when she was the person. I preferred her as the dragon.
Yeah.
Like seeing her as the dragon.
Yeah, I liked her better as the dragon than as a person.
Yeah.
I really like the way that the dragon.
But I liked her
looks.
hair. It was pretty cool. Like how it was like white, but also
Yeah.
blue and purple.
White.
Once
blue
I
and
saw
purple
like
and
other
pink a little
dragons,
bit.
because I thought it was weird that they had like horn things on their heads.
She had a real rainbow fish thing going on.
Like, why does she have a horn? I thought she was like a unicorn dragon at first, and I was like, that's kind of weird. But then once it was like the scene with her other brothers, I was like, well, they got stuff on their heads
Yeah, they
too.
got horns.
And it was like their different powers. Well, you could have explained that to me, but they didn't.
You gotta look a picture of a dragon.
All I'm saying is they got some stupid powers.
Yeah, their powers were really
Like
pretty
random.
underwhelming, right? It's like so she.
Like, oh,
so
you a fog
so
dragon?
Sisu-
That's sick.
Sisu touches the gem that Raya has, and she's like, "Whoa, this is the power
She's
of
glowing.
my sister or whatever," and she glows, and it's
Yeah.
like, okay, you can glow. All dragons can't glow. That's just a one dragon kind of thing, huh?
This reminds
Well,
me of
I
like
didn't
the
know that.
Super High, or what was it called?
Which
that
one?
movie? Super
Sky
High
High?
School?
Sky High?
Oh, Sky High. Yeah,
Super
yeah, yeah.
High.
Oh, with the glow boy.
He's like,
Sidekick.
I glow.
Sidekick. Yeah. Yeah,
Anyway.
the glowing is definitely a sidekick dragon power.
Most of them.
I mean, it looks really pretty though. I mean, she looks
yeah,
really
no,
cool
the,
when she's
the
glowing.
animation of it was gorgeous.
Indeed.
I like after the first scene, she has a lot of funny like one-liners too. I was like, all right, Awkwafina, you sold me on this weird looking dragon thing. And then by the end of it, I was like, that dragon's cute.
Yeah.
So it took a little bit, but like when I saw the trailer, I was like, that looks dumb. Like I knew they were gonna have to like sell me on
Which
the way
I
the
won't
dragon
even lie,
looked.
because we've talked about this before, but when I watched the trailer of Guardians of the Galaxy, I literally looked at Luis and was like, never. There's a talking raccoon. That is so stupid.
Emily, you both of us. That's why I,
was
didn't
like,
watch
I
it
will
in the
never
theater.
watch that.
I was
And-
like, why is there a raccoon? Same with Ant-Man. I was like, ants? I don't think so.
And
No
FYI,
ants.
Luis and I watched Guardians of the Galaxy twice in the theaters, which we're not usually. I don't think we've ever watched something twice
Not
in the
multiple
theaters
moviegoers.
together. And yeah, no, that definitely was a two-timer. So
I only remember because we
understand
were
that
here
for
at your
you.
house and you were like, you have to watch it. And I was like, I don't want to. Your TV was on this side of the house.
Mhm.
And I was like, I don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
And you were like, you're going to watch it. And I was like, that was good.
Movie's
that
a
was
banger.
good.
Indeed.
So the point of that was, I understand that feeling of like, I don't
No.
like that.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
didn't like
interested.
it at first, but it was fine.
That's cool that it won you over. You know. So Raya and Sisu.
Hold on, can I tell my next problem with this
Oh
movie?
yes, please.
Because you just were talking about it. So my second problem with this movie, it didn't really start from the beginning, even though she did a couple. I don't particularly like how she speaks very modern. It's not even just her; it's the other kid. What's the kid's name? Boone.
Boone. Yeah.
So like all of the characters are very modern to like what we would do.
Sure.
Like this is a made up world, and they talk like we talk modern.
Like we talk now.
modernized.
Yeah.
Like and
Mhm.
how everything was like they didn't say like they tweet or something, but
Yeah.
like I just feel
It's lit.
like like a lot of the one-liners were things that we would say,
It was.
Sure.
It was.
and I was like, not hugely fond of that. Which Luis didn't have a problem with that, but I was like, but you hate the genie in the Aladdin show I mean, I guess it's not Aladdin anymore. It's Frozen, right?
Oh,
In California Adventure, they used to have Aladdin.
The live show.
Yes, in the Hyperion.
And the genie would do like modern day jokes.
Yeah, and Louise hated that. But
Oh, I
apparently
loved
didn't
it.
bother
I
him.
loved it.
But I mean, that's how the
What
movie
jokes?
Aladdin is too, right? Robin Williams is making
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson impressions and
Right.
stuff like that.
The jokes the genie would do.
No, I know, but what's that have to do with Raya?
I'm just saying that it's similar to, in my head, it's kind of similar to that where she's doing more modern things, where this is not like a modern type movie. Like, I feel like this
what
is
was
taking
modern
place
that
in the
she
past.
did?
Like, well, now I can't think of any of the things she said.
she had
specifically.
one-liners though.
Yeah.
Like I know what you mean, Emily, because there were one-liners where I was like, like I did a chuckle, and I made the comment at the end of the movie. I was like, I need to watch that again because she was saying things that
Yeah.
were like, yeah. So
Like
I know what you
quotable
mean.
that we could say
Oh,
later.
right. Like this is the one that happens in the trailer. Sisu is like, the kid in your group class that doesn't really contribute to the project but still ends up getting an A. That's me. I'm that kind of dragon. And it's like, oh, y'all got group projects back here in ancient
And I was
Commandra?
like, you mean so my whole graduate program?
Yeah. I feel that. Okay, that makes sense.
Anywho, so I just wasn't huge
It
on
didn't
that.
bother me, but
I just didn't, I don't know. I guess I would have enjoyed it more if she was like an old person that was like, for example, in Guardians of the Galaxy, not that Drax is an old person, but how he's like super literal
Right,
or
right,
super
right.
whatever. Like, I would have enjoyed it just as much with Awkwafina's voice as like her being like a super old Asian lady.
Yeah,
Versus like her like a super hip, young, very
cool
sprightly.
dragon.
Cool
yeah, because
dragon.
we didn't know till later, but she's like the youngest sister, right?
Right.
She's like the youngest, yeah,
Right, of the dragons.
of
Anyhow,
her brothers.
So
last
that's just one of my thoughts on that.
Okay, I do like the way the dragons look now, like with her. But I will say that when they were like jumping in the sky at the end, they didn't. I felt like it was like a ferret.
Yeah, they got.
The way they
they
jump.
got
You know what a
some-
ferret looks like?
got
How
big
it has
ferret
that really
energy.
like,
Yeah.
like that kind of body.
Which I'm not hugely fond
I
of
was like,
either.
it looks like a ferret, not a dragon.
They got long
I
body
love
problems.
ferrets.
You love ferrets?
Heck a wants
They're
one,
so
dude.
weird.
Even though they're illegal.
They do that with their body. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
They have such a weird. I love ferrets. They're
Louise,
freaking cool, man.
I never would have imagined that sentence coming out of your mouth.
I love
I really
ferrets.
want a
love
ferret, but I
ferrets.
hear they're bleeping.
Feral.
Did you see that movie? Along
he
Came
wants-
Polly.
He wants to be bleeped.
Okay, so
Oh.
I hear ferrets are fucking because they bite you.
Oh yeah.
My neighbor has
I
ferret.
believe it.
One time when I got locked out of the house and I was crying because I was going to be late for work and I was walking Dougie and I didn't bring my phone with me and then I locked myself out of the house and then I went to my neighbor's house and they had a pet ferret and Dougie didn't like that ferret and it was kind of mean ferret.
Well,
Why are you laughing?
I'm laughing at your whole story, and the fact that you said you weren't high maintenance earlier. Hey.
I have two examples of when they said stuff that I wasn't happy about it. This is some food that won't quit. Like, I'm here. And then he said something about pop and lock dance battle. Like,
Oh yeah, stop popping, locking, and making some food or
like,
whatever.
excuse
They
me?
said to boom.
Pop and lock it.
Yeah. Which I
Well,
mean, and
I
honestly,
won't-
that's not
I
even like a
mean-
modern thing. That's a kind of a '90s
Pop,
thing, right?
lock, and
I
drop
mean,
it.
I'm just gonna sit here and say if those were the only two things there that were so subtle, no one caught them.
Yeah,
Unlike that dang,
pop, pop, pop.
unlike
Nobody
that,
caught them.
only
unlike
caught
that
it.
dang genie from Disney California Adventure who's freaking throwing up rainbows. Like, come on, stop.
Phone up
He's-
rainbow.
Yeah, like
said
he was
it's-
doing too much and it was too obvious.
You
This
mean he was
one-
talking
I
about Lady
see.
Gaga? That was a problem for
Oh,
you?
right.
And a Kardashian?
What do you mean?
I like when he just, I want to sing the line. I want to sing
Yeah.
the line.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, Louise
Right,
didn't
right,
like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I like
it-
it.
that whole pack.
It crossed the line
Oh,
for you.
man.
Yes.
I will say
The
that
peanut butter's be gone.
I didn't mind the modern type dialogue. I thought that most of the dialogue was
Man, did I
was
even
pretty
watch
good.
this movie? Because I don't know what you guys are talking about. I didn't notice any of that.
I mean, yeah, it didn't really cross my mind. It
Honestly,
didn't bother
though,
me.
maybe we're just getting old and like kids' movies, I've always done this kind of thing and we
I mean,
thought
yeah.
it was normal. And now that we're older, we're like, oh, this ain't this in the movie.
I mean, like half of Phil's line from Hercules are like the same kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
And now they were in the past. But
Right,
We didn't have an
yes.
issue with it then. We're old.
Michelle,
No,
the
no.
youngest of us, just
No.
realized that
Michelle
we're
was
old.
trying to say that I'm old because I'm the one with a problem with it.
I have.
It's cool, you baby.
At least they didn't say bet on the movie. I would have thrown something at the TV.
That's the next 5 years of Disney movies.
No.
Bet.
Yeet.
So yeah,
Eat.
they begin their journey to find all of the gems, the pieces of gem from each of the different lands of Dragon, Kumandra or whatever.
Which I do like the name Kumandra. We'll throw that out.
It's
there.
cool.
I think it's cool too.
They head to the first place, which is Tail, I think.
No, they entail.
They're
Oh, they're
in
already
Tail.
in Tail.
It's like a desert.
Right, and so their gem is protected by booby traps.
Yeah, lots of booby traps, like a boom bug.
Yeah, the Toot and Boom, that was funny.
That
I liked Toot and Boom the bug.
So
Okay,
stupid.
he farts, boom.
I mean, it's literal.
So they make their way through the.
This was like Raiders of the Lost
Yes.
Arky. Okay.
For sure. They get in there, they pass all the Toot and Booms, they flip over all the ropes. They cross the thing with the sword, and then they put the skeleton and keep it in place while they swap out for the gem, just like in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
It was
It's a direct reference. And then they get attacked by Namari. Okay,
But we did.
But she rolling on those cool cats.
right. They got big cats
Meow,
over
meow.
over in Fang.
Meow meow. Speaking of cats.
So they roll up. Namari's older now. She's got all these muscles. Okay, she's ready to fight.
Yo,
She's ready
she
to throw
ripped.
down.
I think she calls her like Princess Undercut or
Yeah,
Uppercut or
Princess Undercut.
like making fun of her hair. I'm like, her hair's sick, dude. Emily, you should do that.
yeah, I could be Princess
Princess
Undercut.
Undercut.
Did they say undercut or uppercut?
I think it was undercut.
Undercut.
I can't remember.
'Cause it was
Uppercut is like
under
a
your
punch,
hair.
right?
somebody,
Yeah.
Right.
Undercut is
Under,
what
yeah,
Luis gets.
yeah, I
she
get it.
would give Princess Undercut an uppercut.
An uppercut kiss, you know what I'm saying?
Punch smooch. So they throw down for a minute, I believe.
A small minute.
A small minute.
Yeah, they don't really throw down. They escape
Right.
because
She
they
drops
hop onto
sand
a
on her.
boat, and that's where Boone is. He's the captain of the boat, and
He's
he
captain
sells,
of the shrimp-
he
the
sells
shrimp boat.
shrimp and rice bowls,
Mm-hmm.
basically.
Yeah, it looks
Which
pretty
honestly, I'm trying to be on that
good. I'm
boat.
trying to get on Boone's boat.
Especially because we're in quarantine. It's like, can I get on a shrimp boat, please? That'd be great. They ain't 6 feet apart. I'll eat it.
Boone is very charismatic. He's very
Pablo, I can
He's
tell
like,
you.
let me find the captain. It's me, Captain Boone.
I like Captain Boone. He was funny.
He was one of my favorite characters.
Yes, so they hightail it out of there. Oh, by the way, the second gem gave the power of shapeshifting, so Sisu now looks like a human, and Raya requests that she continue to look like that way, so that'll help them get through all these other places.
Someone doesn't try to steal the dragon.
without attention.
Then they be going to Talon,
They head on over to Talon.
which is Singapore, pretty much.
Right, yes. And in Talon, they have to get up to the castle, and they got to make their way through the market in order to
Oh
get up to
my
the
God.
castle.
I can't.
I hate this part.
Yeah, me too.
What? The little
Hate.
kids?
Okay,
Yes,
there's
it's disgusting.
I'll make a comment here.
I like it too. Boo.
I like this.
Let me talk. Andre and I.
Let me talk.
Andre and have
Let me
and I
talk.
have arguments about cartoons because I didn't grow up on like funny like boom boom weird babies talking kind of tart.
Boom, boom.
Like they're hitting with a hammer on the head and they get squished.
She
Boom,
didn't watch
boom.
SpongeBob. She didn't watch Fairly Odd
That's
Parents.
your own problem.
She didn't
Those are
watch
funny
Dexter's
shows.
Tom
Lab.
and Jerry, like what the heck
She
is
didn't
that?
watch
You know,
Looney Tunes.
Like I don't
She's
know.
talking about Tom and Jerry. We're talking about like
Boom boom,
20th
like hit the
century.
hammer on the head, and, like bing ding.
Look,
You know,
y'all, you need to back up on my boy
anyways,
Tom and Jerry.
I don't like
Okay,
corny.
old man.
I
Neither
don't
do I.
like corny cartoon stuff.
I heard
And what did
horny
they do?
cartoons.
Corny with a C. Corny Collins, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Corny
like
Collins.
corny
Beauty's gonna
cartoon
drop out.
stuff. And Disney usually doesn't do that. And the fact that they had to put in this little crime fighting baby with 3 monkeys, I told Andre, like in that moment, he was like, like having fun. And I was like, this is so stupid.
First of all,
I was so pissed.
she's a crime committing baby, okay? She's not crime fighting, all right? She's got her 3 monkey bros.
Andre loves
Okay.
this kind of crap.
It's
dude.
awesome because she even Raya even says, "A con baby? Are you kidding me?" It was
That's so
great.
stupid.
She's like, "I'm a baby. Come take care of me." Raya's like, "Oh, how
I
cute."
mean, I can laugh about it because I hated it so much.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
I'm gonna laugh about it,
God.
but the baby did not grow on me by the end of
no,
this.
I did not.
I like it.
care.
It was a cool baby.
Ugh.
Noe,
Here's
Nui.
you want to know my problem?
Yeah.
How old is this baby? You tell me right
Like
now.
months,
Yeah, like
6 months.
There's an issue there. She caught it because
they've been
like
gone for 6
6 years.
How old is the baby?
I was like, you know what, man?
But the Droon are still out there.
Yeah, her
Right?
mom might have just got
So
drooned.
they might have just got. Maybe she was part of the circus.
No,
but the
maybe
parents
that
were
evil.
gone, quote unquote.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
were
right,
gone.
right,
So
right.
maybe that evil chief lady.
But it could have been
drooned
like
them.
last month. It didn't have to be 6 years ago.
Yeah.
But that's an issue. Stop going outside. You got a baby.
Oh yeah.
No, maybe that chief lady drooned her.
Yeah, you're right.
Drooned
You're
her.
right. That could have happened.
Okay,
Right.
you're not wrong. But that mom needs to go to CPS. Call 'em.
Well, they live in Talon, and Talon's cool because all the houses are like built on sticks right on the water. So theoretically, they all should be safe or whatever,
Yeah, that's what
right?
I'm saying. The chief,
They're built on
chief
sticks.
drooned her.
On bamboo sticks. The
The chief
not what
drooned
it's
her.
called. That's
chief. Wait, which chief?
Still?
The chief of Talon?
The little old
The
lady
old
chief.
little old lady
She
who
drooned
leads
her.
people out of the city, and is like, "Hey, what's going on out there? Oh, it's Droon time. Bye bye." And closes the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
So she did that to her parents.
Probably.
We have to assume. We
I
must,
hope
we
so,
must
because
assume.
if not, I just feel like
And the
this-
monkey's parents too.
Why can-
they're all little orphans.
I hate the monkeys too. Ew. No.
Come on, it's a boo and a boo boo and a boo boo boo. All right, they're all
What?
out there,
A boo and a boo boo and a boo boo.
and they got little baby Aladdin. All right, and they're running cons in the streets.
Shut the
Trying to make a buck.
front door.
I like the baby.
Even the fact that they used the baby as like a street performer as a distraction is so stupid.
That was funny too.
I don't like this corny cartoon. Oh,
Stop.
sorry.
Thursday.
sorry.
But
I told you this needed to be an explicit.
maybe I'll put it up as explicit for the patrons.
Dude, I'm so dead by that toddler. I hate it so much.
So, yeah, the Raya gets distracted by a little flippy baby.
A boo boo, and a boo
And a boo 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 and a boo boo boo, and they
They didn't have names, but they do now.
they did not have names. So you're welcome, Disney. I'm
I
available.
hope you've seen this movie because if not, you're gonna hate it by the description.
So they distract Raya, and then meanwhile, who goes up there?
Raya.
Oh, Raya goes up there, but Sisu is distracted by the babies.
Sisu's over here like, this is where she starts it. You gotta
Oh,
give
that's
him a
right.
gift.
That's what she's doing. She's going and buying stuff on credit. See, that was funny. That was hilarious.
Who explained credit? Was
I think it was
Boone?
Boone. Yeah, he's like, oh, she's like, we don't have any money. He's like, you're an adult and you don't have money. Why don't you just use credit? And Caesar's like, what's credit? It's like, well, credit just means you pay it back later. It's cool. And it's like, oh, here we
So
go.
she's literally going to every single
Every shop.
shop and is like, I'm getting this
I'm
on
gonna get
credit.
this. I'm gonna get this. Put it on credit. Put it on credit. It's on credit. Swipe, 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 swipe.
That is funny.
And
It's stupid though, but it's funny.
all the townspeople are like, are you gonna pay for any of that? She's like, oh, it's on credit. They're like, we don't know you. You ain't got no credit here. It's like, oh, what? You gotta know me to have credit. And so
they be
that's
doing
when,
IOUs, but people ain't know.
right. So that's when she starts getting led out of town. And by this point, Raya has made good with the baby and her monkey bros and hires them to distract the guards up at the castle. She goes up there, finds out that the actual chief isn't the real chief and that it's actually this old lady chief because the young chief got stoned or whatever. And so Raya meets up with Sisu, who's now being led out of the castle into Droonland. And Raya just comes in and saves the day, I think.
Pretty much.
Is that what happens? Yeah, I think she was trying to get some information out of her for whatever reason. Did she know she was a dragon? No, she must not have known. I don't quite remember.
She's like, you out here getting in trouble. Bye.
Yeah. So I believe they steal that piece from the old lady.
That's probably what the con baby's parents like. Oh, you using a con baby? Get out there.
Yeah, that maybe they conned the chieftess lady with baby con. And that's how the parents got stoned as well. So they take the third piece of gem, which I believe is fog powers. I think is this one. Also, and it's like a cool shot when she's like spitting fog out of her mouth. I was like, wait, so none of y'all like spit fire or anything like that either? I guess not. Once again,
One of them
the
spits
powers
game, the other one spits.
the powers are a little
Oh my
underwhelming. And I think it is around this point when Sisu says that her power is that she's a real powerful swimmer. And it's like, Oh, that's it, huh? That's for real?
I like
Backstroke,
it.
Butterfly.
I wasn't upset with that. I was like, good for you, girl, because
Yeah, swimming's hard.
Oh, good God. It's such a stupid
But like,
I'm a really strong swimmer.
and like she was, I guess. But like, I'm expecting.
She's a water dragon.
Right. So you think that swimming would kind of be in the basic skill set, not the special power, you know?
Whatever.
I thought that she was gonna be like, I'm a real strong swimmer, and that was gonna be code for like I can control water
Yeah.
and make waves and make stuff move around. And
Yeah,
stuff
she
like
didn't do
that.
nothing.
But she didn't really do
special in
any
the
of
water.
that. No.
Or like she's a torpedo or something.
Right. I thought she was
Like-
gonna go super fast
Yeah,
under there.
no.
She's like, I'm swimming.
Just swims. Good for
Boopity boop,
you.
boop, boop, beep, boop, boop. So they got the baby.
She swims about as good as Michelle, which is good. So that's cool.
They got
Michelle's also a water dragon.
they got the
True.
baby. They got the Abubus. They got the
Boom.
Boone and Raya and Sisu. They're all on the boat and they're mourning.
And already at this point, though, I know they're going to collect someone from each location.
Well, yeah. By this point, we've collected a couple from each place, but they're all mourning their lost Stony family, right? So they each take a flower and drop it into the water. Is like a pour one out for your homie kind of thing, right? And this is where the visuals were just blowing me away. Like they cut to a shot of just the flowers on the water, and like if I hadn't just been watching 35 minutes of an animated movie where I could tell that it was animated, I'd be for sure that was like a real shot.
There was a couple moments where I was like, "Oh, that's real,
Yeah.
right? Oh,
Yeah.
it's
It looked
not."
real
Okay.
And a lot of it had to do with the water. Like
Yeah.
a scene with water in it, it looked so realistic.
The water stuff was
So-
off the hook.
Artistically very beautiful.
Yeah, gang on them.
You can't argue with Disney's animation period ever. So.
So
Right.
this is where they go to, I don't even know which one it is, but they go to the snow one, right?
I think it's Spine. Yes, it's the
Yeah.
snowy
You-
island.
and it's like where the Huns go.
Right.
Yeah.
These are the big
He looked
dudes with
like
the
a Hun.
axes.
Yeah.
He did look like a Hun.
They get captured almost immediately as soon as they walk into this place
By Wong.
by Tong.
No.
Oh,
He's
that's
Wong.
right. He's Wong from Doctor Strange, and also
Yeah.
his name is Benedict Wong. He is Wong. That's who plays him.
Benedict Cumberbatch
who plays
and
Tong?
Benedict Wong.
It's like, come on, man, give this man some variation in his names, please.
I couldn't help but call him Wong the entire movie. Was his name really Tong?
Yeah, Tong.
I love Wong.
Oh,
Wong,
I love Wong.
Wong Tong over here.
I want to watch Doctor
is,
Strange again.
Yeah, I do too. So he's trying to be very threatening to
With our
Raya and
boy Mads
Sisu
Mikkelsen.
and the babies or whatever. And he's like, I'm really gonna violent you up. Yeah, I'm gonna give you a real hurting on. And they're like, okay.
I'm gonna eat you, and I'm gonna eat you up,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna grind
It's like
your
it's
bones.
gonna take me a long time to clean up. I
I'm
was
gonna
like,
grind your bones to make me bread.
Yeah.
it's funny because we're watching The Boys right now, which is on Amazon, and I'm like, dude, nothing you could do is worse than that show. It's gonna take you a long time to clean up. What you gonna do to them? Okay, I seen some things recently.
It's a very mature.
What are you gonna do?
It's a
I've
very
seen
mature
some
superhero
things.
show.
It's a very mature superhero show.
So Tong is trying to be threatening and it's not really working. And I think at a certain point they realize that he is the only person left in Spine because everyone else there got drooned up. You know,
Yeah, they got drooned
They're
in.
all heartlisted out there. And so at this point, Namari shows up again. Her and her cats are back again to fight.
Guess who's
She's
back?
like, we know you got Raya in there. Broom, broom. Bring her to me.
Boom, boom.
Broom, broom.
So
Almost
Raya,
a city. And then they fight.
yeah. So Raya goes out there to distract them, while the gang gets away. Tong is on their side now. That was pretty quick. She goes out there and confronts
saw the
Namari.
baby.
Zero
Because he
convincing.
saw the baby. He was like, baby.
Oh, that's right. That's kind of the sad thing about Tong is that he's got an empty baby crib in the background, and he's like, I miss my baby. She was here, now she's out there, turned to stone. I guess I don't know why she isn't stone in the crib or whatever. But so
Maybe he was out saving New York.
throwing a rocket up through a wormhole and stuff. So yes, Raya fights with Namari. It's a real muscle off,
pretty
you
sick.
know. like muscles.
There was
muscles,
one
muscles.
part where
Sword,
Namari
sword.
like was in a handstand and put her legs around Raya's neck and then like flipped her over, and I was like, whoa,
Yeah, it was a real Black Widow move.
doing some stuff right now.
KJB.
Yeah, it was a cool fight. I like the fighting in this movie. It's not bad. So they're fighting, and then Namari.
And she's like beating her too.
Yeah, Namari's getting the best of Raya here, and
I'm a little annoyed. I feel like, again, I'm nitpicking at this particular thing, but I feel like they did a lot of flashes to the gang getting away.
Yeah,
Like, if you're really going to show it that much, Namari should have seen them.
right.
Like, you're going back and forth
And-
between them, like,
and Raya keeps like looking
Yeah.
that way and stuff like that too.
why wasn't she
like,
like
I don't know if you're looking directly at a person's face and you're fighting them, and all of a sudden they just look behind them like neck breaking and stuff.
So
I'm
there.
like,
What you looking at?
there, you know,
Why
like,
aren't you focused on
That's
me and my
true.
biceps?
That's
What
true.
what's going on?
I
My
was-
biceps and those shoulders.
poor form on
My
their
traps.
part.
that's poor form,
Um,
ungentlemanly,
yeah. So regardless, Namari doesn't notice. She's too busy kicking butt. So
vibing.
Sisu comes in to save the day, to return the favor, and she
She's like fog breath.
yeah, she fog breaths it up. She dragons out, and then Namari sees Sisu as a dragon. Is like, whoa, I'm a dragon nerd. I forgot.
Her
This
eyes
is the
kind of
sickest
tear up
thing.
too. She's
Oh,
like,
yeah, she's
what?
Sisu, oh my god, she's right there. Holy crap, you guys seeing this? Oh my god.
Andre, I'm worried about you right now. Breathe, Rob.
That's what she did. That's what I felt. So they
That's
get
what
away.
Andre would do if he saw Spider-Man.
They
in real
get
life.
away. I
Yeah.
will neither confirm nor deny. They get away, and then they have 4 or 5 pieces now of the gem, I believe.
because they got Wong's piece.
They-
They got Wong's
They have
piece.
4.
What
but
did
there
that
is
do?
5. Rain.
Right, she had control over the rain and could rain dance,
Storm powers.
rain fly, rain flight. Pew 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 pew.
Yeah, she can make rain.
Yeah, she can control the rain.
Let the rain fall down.
So from here, the whole gang knows she's a dragon now too, and they're like, "Whoa, that's cool, you're a dragon."
Why didn't you tell us she was a dragon?
They realize that they have to go and infiltrate Fang to get the last piece.
Did they let that bit of information
What?
drag on too long?
This is why Luis is here, okay? He stays quiet for 45 minutes of the episode, and then he drops a gem like that. And you're going to roll your eyes?
Okay. Emily and I both looked at each other like,
You know what, guys?
and Andre's
All
like,
right, okay. Let's not let this drag on any longer. Let's continue.
Boom. Okay.
I love ferrets.
They decide to infiltrate Fang.
Which honestly is the coolest
yeah.
tribe area.
yeah, they're like Wakanda, kind of.
It's cool. Yeah, they're like the most advanced
Or just smartest. I don't know.
Right, yeah. And so Namari's mom, who's the leader,
Wong's tribe was kind of stupid.
yeah, they all got, you know. But Namari's mom, she has her piece of gem on her staff,
Loki.
in Loki style, and she's cool. She's like, let them
She's
come.
Captain Undercut too.
We're gonna mess them all up. We're gonna get them other pieces of gem, and we gonna be at the top, you know. I think Namari tells her about the dragon, and is like, well, what about the dragon? Dragon's cool. And
She's like, bring the dragon to me.
the
too."
mom's like, I'll get the dragon and the gem. Sounds good. Let's do it all. Let's do it all, and screw everybody else. I don't care about any of them. So when Raya comes to infiltrate the Luis is double fisting barefoot wine.
It was the way he opened it.
So when
He
Raya
didn't ask if anybody else wanted one. He just got 2 from
Yeah.
He
Zoe.
just got 2 barefoot wines and he cracked them open. They're in both hands, you guys. And he opened them one-handed and he's drinking both.
gang gang.
He might hand one to his wife. I don't know.
Doesn't look like it. Nope.
No.
There's a head shake.
And it's gone.
So Raya comes
Wow.
back, and instead of them storming the castle or whatever, she decides to try to appeal to Namari's good nature. Like she thinks that they're still good in her or whatever.
Sisu does.
Yes, Sisu does.
Mm-hmm.
Not Raya.
Sisu does. Raya doesn't. Sisu was like, I'm
Is
not
it
giving her a
Sisu or
gift.
Sisu?
Sisu.
It's Sisu.
Yeah.
Like miso soup, but sisu soup.
Oh,
I
my
could
God.
never with miso soup ever again. So.
Why
I
not?
love
miso.
miso
I
soup.
like miso soup.
not since
I just don't
Orange
eat
is
the
New Black.
seaweed.
That
don't
must
remember
I don't
what
watch
they
that
did
show.
from a later
I just
season.
don't eat the seaweed in the miso
Hey,
soup.
you know what I like though about that whole thing?
Which whole thing?
Which
On Orange is the New Black?
like the
Oh,
whole
we'll get into that, Luis. Andre and I
I
have a
like
lot to
that.
say about that.
Luis likes
What?
the
hand symbol.
hand symbol, the dragon gem piece.
Any
over your
cool
forehead.
thing has
The
a hand
Wu-Tang?
symbol. Wakanda.
Yeah, the Wu-Tang, the
What's
Wakanda,
Wakanda? They got a hand symbol.
the Hunger Games, 2 fingers. Doo-doo-doo.
Peace out.
Doo-doo-doo.
Am I doing it right?
No, please stop. You look like a pigeon.
What the hell you doing over there?
What's Wakanda?
Oh,
Not Wakanda.
Do it again.
You look like a pigeon.
Alright.
Do it again.
It's an audio-only
I'm not gonna
podcast.
do
it again.
We,
No.
we won't make you do it
You
again.
guys
again.
can pay money if you want to see me.
Uh,
Do it again.
Paying no money. You owe me $2,000.
It was like that.
$10,000.
It was
Yeah,
like
it's
that
a lot.
one scene when Johnny Depp was a vampire and he wakes up like, what century is this?
Oh, I love that movie.
Dark Shadows, right?
Yeah.
So, so wait. So if Sisu's the one who wants to appeal to her good nature, does she take the dragon necklace up there, or does Raya take it up
Raya does.
Well, like
She convinces
has
Raya.
she has the freaking kids do it. The toddler and
Oh,
the
the baby and the
monkeys
monkeys.
like do some.
Right.
They take it up to Namari while she's in her Jasmine castle sleeping.
there? Right.
And then Namari sets off the
girl.
firework. She sets off the firework, and Sisu's like, "What does that mean?" And Raya's like, "That means business." Because remember last time she set off the firework is when they infiltrated and they stole the gem.
Right.
But this time, the firework means she's on her side. So then they
It's a
meet
signal.
on the hillside, on the cliff, right
And you
above
know
the water.
it's about to go down.
And
About to
then
go down.
She's like, "I thought I'd never see this necklace again." And she's like, "Yeah, I saved it for 6 years, honey." And then she gave it back to her. She's like, "I took good care of it." She says that. She's like, "I tried to take good care of it."
Mm-hmm.
Trying to take care of your heart.
Y'all weren't getting vibes at this point either, because I was. Okay. And then she
I was
was
just
like,
waiting for the action.
she
I won't
took
even
it.
lie to you.
and then she pulls out her weapon.
It's a crossbow.
And she's like, "The dragon's coming with me." And Raya's like, "No, not my dragon, Sisu."
Right.
And so Sisu comes out and is like, Namari.
Look at me, I'm a
It's
dragon.
okay.
It's cool. And then also, all of the homies come out too. The Tong and the
Yeah,
Baby
why do
and-
they come out
and
too? I don't
Boone.
know.
And like Namari like points the crossbow between the sidekicks and like Raya and the dragon, and it's like, you only got one of those crossbows, homegirl. You can't shoot all of us.
Well, and I feel like that was really aggressive for all of those people to come out for her not to feel like she has to shoot somebody.
I mean, that's true. And eventually she does. So they're facing off.
Well, it's really dramatic because Sisu's like, she's not going to hurt me. She's not going to hurt me. She keeps thinking this.
Right.
And
We
she
have to
like
trust her.
literally, they have a thing of her hand like
there ain't no safety on this crossbow. okay?
halfway on the trigger. So like if I was Raya, I would have done the same thing. Like her
Right.
finger was pulled back
on the trigger.
halfway pulled back.
Right.
Like she's shooting Sisu.
So Raya releases the sword. She pulls the trigger on the crossbow. Crossbow, pew, pew, right
Hits Sisu,
into
and Sisu
Sisu's
falls in
chest.
the water, dead.
You're
Okay?
gone.
She gone.
It's over.
And so then
The last dragon.
the dragon's gone, so the gem is losing its power. The all of the water disappears because
Yeah.
she's a water dragon, and
Well,
so now there's no more water.
I think they also mentioned in the beginning that the dragons provided like water and life and magic to the world and
yeah,
stuff
something
like
like that.
that. So now that the
I
dragon
just
is
thought it was
gone,
'cause she was
all the
a
water
She
is
had
gone.
I think because she had absorbed all the water, the fog, the glowy
Rain.
sorry.
Right.
The rain.
Yeah, I think you're right. They provide
Swimming.
like that. You know what I mean?
The swimming.
So since
Yeah.
the water is gone, the drones can come, right? And
Yes.
All
so
over those
this is
places.
where it got real dramatic because everything's breaking and falling, right? And Raya's like, "No more, Ray!" Like she's ready to kick her butt, right? Because
Oh,
she
yeah.
just
pretty much Pompeii up
shot
in here.
shot Sisu, and it's really dramatic because they go into the palace and her mom, the tribal leader, is stoned
already got
now. She
stoned.
already got drowned, and so Namari's like, "Let's finish this, bitch." Basically,
I told you.
So
I think what bothers me is
so
that
then
there
they
was
were
no-
really fighting.
At this point, I was not. It was very okay. So sometimes things are predictable, right?
Mhm.
Especially because
It
we've
was
seen
all-
a lot of movies.
yeah.
But like, it was so predictable that I didn't particularly care that Sisu was dead.
Right.
And I didn't particularly like
'Cause you
care
knew
that
she
they
would
were
come back.
fighting
Yeah.
because I was like, well, let's just get to it.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of didn't.
We
haven't-
missed the important
we haven't
dragon
touched
scene.
we haven't touched on it specifically, but like the whole thing is that like the dragons and the people, they all needed to come together to
They
trust
need to
one
have
another.
a symbiotic relationship.
Right. So the reason that the Droon are around is because the humans are all infighting with one another, and if they could just come to peace, then everything will be okay. Is the whole theme of the story, right?
Mm-hmm.
So by the time Sisu has been taken out, we know that all they got to do is get these gems together, and then they can reverse everything or whatever, right?
Because they did the same thing as dragons.
Yes, exactly. And I think that backstory has come into play as well now, right? We see
Yeah.
Sisu and her,
She
and her
takes
siblings.
she takes her to the
She goes to
heart
Heart,
place
yeah.
and is like, look, this is my brother, this is my sister, and this is what we did to defeat
the
the
Droon,
Droon. And
the
so
first
they
time.
do the same thing because there's 5 tribes and there was 5 dragons. So
And there's
that's like
5
kind
pieces
of
of the gem.
how they put it together, you know?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So they're fighting the Droon at the place of heart.
No, they're fighting each other.
Oh right, Raya and
she-
Namari are fighting.
She kicks
Again.
Namari's butt.
Yeah, she
This
really
time.
she stomps her out
Yeah.
pretty hardcore. It's satisfying.
But
to
then they
watch.
like have this. She was like, "You're just as much to Namari as like, I wasn't gonna do anything. I wasn't gonna kill her, and I don't care if you kill me right now, because Sisu knew that. Sisu knew I wasn't gonna hurt her, so I don't care." And she was like, "You're just as much to blame for her death as I am, Raya."
And I was over here like, nah.
no, I didn't think that.
I was
I didn't
like,
think that was true
we
at all.
literally cut into your finger. Like
Yeah.
there was a
Hard
screenshot.
No, I didn't think that at all. Like
No.
when Namari was deflecting on Raya, I was like, "Oh no, girl, you don't get to deflect right
I
now."
was gonna shoot you. I wasn't gonna shoot the dragon. Okay.
Oh, fantastic.
So it was trying.
We
They
over
were
here vibing. And you
they were trying to make it was hard because I think they wanted us to sympathize with Namari at that point, and maybe some viewers did.
Sure.
But I was like, no, you killed Sisu.
Nah.
Like you straight up shot the bow, and Raya tried to move it out of the way, and she was like, well, Sisu knew I wasn't gonna kill her. Sisu trusted me, and the whole concept of this movie is supposed to be to trust
Right.
people.
But you know what I was really happy about in this scene, even though I thought that scene was silly, was that all of the side characters, all sidekicks were like, come on, old people, come on, babies,
yeah.
let's do this thing.
They were out
They
there
were-
helping the peoples.
They were de-drooning.
as everything was getting drooned up, because each of the gems, which I also haven't mentioned, can like stave off the Droon for a minute. If you shine light at the Droon, it's like pew, get away. It's like a
Pew, pew.
expecto patronus.
Shut up.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the Droon is Dementors.
Yeah,
pretty much.
basically,
Yeah.
it's a great metaphor.
Thank you.
Oh no, Luis, he hasn't said that in a while.
Oh,
So
no, he says it at home all the
Says it all
time.
Does
the
he?
time. That makes sense.
Listeners, there's this Harry Potter meme
Oh, here we
that
go.
Luis really likes.
I'm
Maybe
not
he'll
gonna,
send it to
I'm
you.
not going to explain it.
No.
It takes too much time. So
You should just put it on the crack because it's fun.
yeah,
The
maybe I
Harry,
will.
yeah, maybe put it on the crack, the
Okay.
Harry Potter meme.
And the Voldemort one.
Yes. Now they're all in the same size. She takes her to the place of on Heart Island or whatever.
No.
What happens now?
No, they all get like
No.
caved in.
They get caved in. The whole structure
friends.
falls on them, and they're all under there with the Droons. And the Droons are surrounding all of
it's
them.
right there.
All 5 of them and Namari. And they were like, and then Raya was like, I know how to save us. We have to come together.
And I'm mad because the first thing she said is, give me all the gems.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, girl, if you really trust in people, like, why don't you all put the gems in the middle? Like, that's rude.
Right. Yeah.
I thought they
No.
were going to give all the gems to the baby, but they did not.
I mean, they had to Lego all the gems together anyway, right? Like somebody had to construct it. You couldn't just like,
Which
put
I'm-
them in a
which I'm-
pile.
Yeah,
In the
which I'm
middle.
fine with, but the first thing she says is, give me all the gems. Like,
me all the
why
gems.
you gonna do it, girl? Back up.
So one by one, they all kind of.
It was weird because they were like, we don't trust her. Like,
Mm-hmm.
she's not going to give the gem. And she was like, well, then Raya was like, I think we have to give it to her because we have to trust her.
Right.
Like, it's about trust. That's what Sisu said. And they were like, no. We don't trust her. And so she was like, let me take the first step. And she gives Namari her gem, and then she walks straight into the Droon.
Right.
And I was like,
To
okay.
get stonied. The first to be stonied.
Mhm.
And then.
And then they follow suit.
And one by one, they all follow suit.
And
right?
Namari thought for a hot second. She was looking up. She was because there was like the light came. She was gonna book it, but she did not.
Right. It's a very end of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 kind of scene. Where like, hey, we all got to come together to defeat this one thing surrounded by purple
In
light.
a downs battle.
Yeah. So they each give up their piece of gem. They each get turned to stone, and these are the only ones who are in different positions than the posies, the
Posies.
the soul pose position or whatever. And Namari is the last one standing. She takes all the gems.
She thinks about leaving.
She's out there fumbling.
Lego block.
Like, she shouldn't be a quarterback.
Yeah. She puts the whole thing together.
She ain't got hands on that ball.
And then the gem loses the last of its power, even though once it's fused together. And then Namari gets turned to stone, and then it's kind of just darkness. And it's like everything's dark, and they're all stone, and everything's dark, and they're all
then
stone.
the gem lights
and
up.
then the gem lights up.
Yeah.
And
It just needed to fuse for a second. Okay, it had been apart. It had to go put back together.
It was a whole 500 years. Okay.
So it pews and does a huge reverse snap, and the Droon are all destroyed,
D-blipped.
and everyone gets returned,
awakened.
unstonied.
I was just happy they didn't go from like stone to like mud on their bodies. Like the stone just sanded
Like
away.
how the water comes back
It was
and
like a
washes them
snap.
away.
Oh,
Almost,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a very kind of
'Cause
water
wasn't the
versus
water-
fire.
The water's what pretty much unstoned them once it started raining, right?
Yeah, yes, exactly.
That's what I was saying. Good thing it just like came off like.
Because it looked like they were muddy for a second, but then it like immediately went away. Like,
'Cause
I would have
like-
been kind of upset if I was like,
And
how did mud get on me?
and this time the dragon homies come back.
Right. The dragons are also
I
released.
was real
from their stone
concerned about
prisons.
that scene. Like, there are 800 dragons coming, and
And I
they
guess they're all cool.
ferrets.
Yeah, they're all ferreting
They
around.
looked
up
like
there.
ferrets, didn't they?
Heck yeah, they did.
Reminded me of that one scene in World War Z, where like they're outside of
I already know what you're talking about.
I think they're outside of
Palestine or something.
I think so. Jerusalem, maybe.
Outside of that wall.
And the walls are hecka high, and then they just start climbing on top of each other when they were doing that
And the
circle thing
walls
to get the
when they were
to get
circling
the
up
water
to the
thing.
top. Yeah.
That's what it looked like. I was like,
They're like, oh.
those.
Yeah, if those zombies were
creepy.
ferrets.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Actually, they move like ferrets in World War Z. Like,
Every-
like that.
Yeah.
I wish the listeners
Glowing
could have seen your
ferret
hair right
zombies.
there.
Yeah, so everybody returns. All the dragons come back.
He missed it.
The time-
he didn't look.
The timeline is a little weird here because all
You
the
are
dragons
not
come back.
Wakandan.
All the dragons bring Sisu back. They like rise her from the water. From the
Mhm.
water, she is reborn.
They freaking
Once again.
phoenixed her again.
Yeah, I mean, nobody stays dead in a Disney movie, I guess, except for Mufasa. Sorry, bro.
Except for the parents.
Or
Except for the parents, yeah.
the parents.
Well, this time the dad comes back.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is that
If he
they
a Disney dad, he coming back.
yeah,
Mufasa
even
was a Disney
Mufasa
dad.
in the sky, dude. Like,
Okay.
look at
You're
my
the
chest
only
from
one
up here.
who thinks that a lion is a daddy. Okay.
I'm not the only one.
Daddy Quaid didn't die. I'm just gonna say it.
Daddy Queen.
I'm not the only one that thinks Mufasa's a daddy.
We know you're out there, you weirdo freaks.
What?
Michelle, you might be the only one.
No, it's not true.
It's not
Pretty true.
Let me call somebody right now. Figure it out.
Phone a friend, Michelle.
Phone a friend, yeah. Phone a friend.
Mufasa friend.
You're definitely the only one.
so
Maybe there's a zookeeper out there somewhere, but no, just you.
they all make their way back
I'm about to
their
call up Akuna Matande right now so that they'll defend me. That Mufasa is a Disney
He won't
dad.
defend you.
Yeah, I didn't say.
No.
Whatever.
they, they all make their way back to their respective countries, their respective regions, and are reunited with their families, I guess. Tong gets his baby back. Boone gets his parents back. The baby and the monkey
his mom
monkey
back.
bros get the mom and the monkey moms back.
Monkey bros, monkey mom.
I don't think there are any monkey moms, but there should be.
That mom had to adopt 3 monkeys after that because
for sure. Like I'm not going nowhere without my monkeys.
A boo boo and
And
a
a
boo
boo
boo.
no, it's Abu and
A boo boo.
Abu squared and then the
Oh.
Abu.
No, it's
Abu
it's
cubed.
Ab, and then Abu.
No,
but it's a boo because
it's a boo and a boo boo and a boo boo boo. So it's Abu squared and
Abu cubed.
Yeah,
Abu cute.
Abu cubed.
You mean Abu boo boo boo?
Abu boo boo.
Prince. Abu boo.
Abu bio.
Prince Abu boo boo.
And then they go back to the Heart Nation, and Raya's dad is there.
He's like, what?
He's like, "You're alive, Raya?
Baba Ko.
You made it."
Baba Ko.
And Cecil's there. She's like, "I'm a dragon. What's up? Everything's cool now." And
then
all the people show
welcome
up.
to Kamandra.
Yeah, and we're Kamandra once again.
And Dad
Everybody's
is
happy.
But it looked
standing
like
on
all
that
the
bridge.
tribes were going into Heart. He was like, I gotta home all these people now.
You better start making some soup, dog. Let's go.
Soup, we like soup. We should make some soup and some shrimp and rice. And gotta get the boom boom sauce. Remember? He said
The
this
Tootin'
one.
Boom?
No,
Some Tootin' Boom
no,
sauce?
he said one was like boom, and he was like, and this one's like boom, the hot sauce.
Oh, we're right. That's
Now
awesome.
boom. Remember, Tuk Tuk ate it, and he got to burn his tongue.
Right. I remember.
Toot boom.
Tootin' Boom.
Oh, Tuk Tuk.
Toot boom.
And so that's the end of the movie, right?
Yeah,
Did I make
that's
it to the end?
You did, and then that
Macabre.
whole credit song was about Kamandra.
Oh, yeah.
That
it
was like
That
Kamandra.
was like the only song,
Yeah, I did not like that.
lyrical song that was written for the movie.
It's so funny because as we watched this, Emily, Andre and I both said that we enjoyed it more than Onward and Soul.
I wasn't a huge fonder of Soul,
Mm-hmm.
but I did like Onward.
I thought Onward was good.
I
It
liked
was
Onward.
good.
You think it was better than this?
Yeah.
Mm,
I did.
Yeah.
I do.
I don't think so.
I think it's about equal.
Luis actually really liked it. The whole time he was like, "This is good, girl." And I was like,
No, to me, like, I
It
won't
fell
lie to
short for a
you.
Pixar
I had
movie
to
to me.
place it in boxes for me to like it.
Okay.
So this was definitely a movie set in, like, Cambodia, Vietnam.
Sure.
And those ancient people,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
Right.
And now I'm not
so if
trying...
it was ancient, why they got like?
and I'm not trying
words
to...
like-
I'm not trying to
Good morning,
use...
Vietnam.
I'm not trying to use the word those as in, oh, those people. No.
Yeah,
Good.
that's,
I just
that's
meant,
not
like, that
that's not
area.
Louise, guys.
Like that area, you know, that ancient civilization,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and that's when I was okay with it. But at first I was like, what the heck is this?
Right.
Like, I get the whole inclusiveness of, like, everything, and maybe it's just my personality, but, like, nah, that's not how it was back in the days of Yonder.
Well, I
Ain't no
mean,
Kamandra
because we're
No.
thinking
on
it's
Earth.
set in the past. You know what I mean?
I definitely
But-
thought it was set in the past.
But I was just thinking
Yeah.
about, like, oh, this is definitely where Ong Bak came from, for sure.
Ong Bak is from Kamandra.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about,
For
right?
sure. Yeah.
Like, come on. Duh. Should have known that.
Right? He was training to
The
protect the
protector,
gem or
man.
whatever. Yeah. Yeah. So
I also called her a wannabe Laura Croft at one point.
Oh, because she's raiding tombs.
Kinda, is she not?
She's definitely raiding tombs, for sure, and rivers. She's a river raider.
River Raider.
So
My
she-
best parts: Raya's sword, Tuk Tuk,
Yeah.
Buon and Wong, Boon and Wong,
Juan.
Buon and Wong.
Boone and Tong.
Wagwan.
What was Wagwan?
It's Jamaican for, like, what's up?
Yeah,
was
we watched
from
Luke Cage season
Luke
2
Cage, yeah.
with all the Jamaicans.
Season was so good.
Yeah, we the Jamaicans, we the
Tuk
bad
Tuk
Was
guys.
Alan Tudyk?
Yeah.
Tudyk,
Yeah.
It was K2SO. He
That
was,
is
he was Tuk
everything
Tuk.
now.
Love
Nowadays.
K2SO, dude.
Luis was so happy. He's like, "Oh, Tudyk's in this again."
Yeah, that dude's
He's
in everything.
in everything, dude.
Mhm.
You know how, like, Morgan Freeman was the narrator for everything?
Yeah.
Alan Tudyk is, like, the secondary characters for everything nowadays.
Luis
He's
and I
every
agree
sidekick.
that this has nothing to do with anything, but Luis and I agree that Pharrell is going to be the
The new
Morgan,
Morgan
Freeman,
Freeman.
of our generation.
Narration.
Yeah, of narration.
Pharrell Williams?
Yeah.
What's
How
he-
many Pharrells you know, bro?
Not many. I saw I'm confused. What is he
He's
narrating?
been in The Grinch.
Oh, he's in the Grinch.
And I mean, I guess we
Okay.
watch that so often, we think he's
Yeah,
in
you watch
everything.
that a
but
lot. I don't know. Has he been in other stuff narrating?
well, if he hasn't,
to call
he
him the
better,
Morgan
so
Freeman.
we could be proven right.
I'm just saying. He got a real nice narrating voice.
I mean, I'm sure he does. You go, Pharrell.
It's better than Samuel Jackson yelling everything.
Well, that's just fun, you know.
Snakes on plane!
You nice.
I'm tired of these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane. That's my favorite censorship ever.
I cannot.
So, Raya. This movie had a budget of $100 million, and it just came out. So it has, and half of the theaters, most of the theaters in the country are closed, but it has a box office of $28.3 million as of right now. I mean, yeah, it sucks.
Damn.
But I mean,
But not to worry. Their Disneyland's yearly passes are definitely gonna be like riding first class.
oh, they're gonna be up there for sure. And this also doesn't include the $30 per watching on Disney Plus. We have no idea how much they've made off that. I think for Mulan, eventually they said that they had made like $230 million off of it or something like that. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mulan.
no.
Yeah.
So
They wanted it to be $1 billion movie or whatever.
well, yeah, I mean, with the theaters not being open, none of
Right.
that's really like relevant anymore.
Exactly. Yeah. So I don't know what it got to or whatever.
So I'm reading a lot of articles, and Emily, I'll let you read them later. So maybe I was wrong. Maybe some people feel like it's a good representation, but some people are saying what you're saying, where it's like a modge podge, and that it's supposed to represent Southeast Asian culture, but they only cast East Asian actresses, and so people are
Right.
kind of upset about that.
Yeah,
and
there's
stuff
no
like
Indian
that.
cast members or
Yeah.
anything like
So
that.
interesting.
Yeah.
We can post some of these
We need to get our
articles.
boy. What's his name?
Who?
Patel.
Let's be real. If he's our boy, then he's probably not.
We can post some of these articles on the.
I guess what I'm trying to say is I appreciate in some instances where they cast.
Unknown peeps.
Yeah, like I would like more unknown actors
Mm-hmm.
because, like, so for example,
Maybe
Moana
Riku.
was.
exactly,
Yeah.
like Awkwafina's voice and like she's like a household.
I
I
mean,
feel like that was fine though, because it was a dragon.
Well, no,
You know.
I know,
I mean,
but,
she's the Musha of this movie for sure,
but she's
right?
the main character, so
Mhm.
like, I
Well,
wouldn't mind if getting more just unknown actors.
Yeah.
But let's be honest though, Disney's never been known to really get unknown actors.
They did with Moana. That girl, it was the first
Rock?
thing she was in.
Right, but The Rock was in. it.
Well,
I'm
but
talking about the
bringing-
whole
he's
cast.
bringing the
Like
star
they're gonna
power.
get one person
oh
that
no,
everybody
no,
knows.
they won't do the whole cast.
So
I just also think it's interesting that I googled Raya and the Last Dragon Asian review to like see what people were thinking of it, and you know how it does. The people also ask.
Mhm.
It says, "What ethnicity is Raya? What kind of Asian is Raya? Is Raya Vietnamese? Is Raya Filipino? Is Raya?" So that people are confused about it.
I would say she's like Vietnamese Cambodian.
But it's
You didn't say that in the beginning. You kept saying that you thought she was Filipino.
I
No, Cambodian,
never
excuse me.
said she was Filipino.
I just know it's a
Cambodian.
Southeast Asian
Well, that's what I said.
representation.
She's Cambodian, Vietnamese in that area.
Right. If her name was Raya Garcia. then
Versus
she might
like
be
Moana,
Filipino.
we were like, she's Pacific Islander, like with Moana. So
Really, I thought she was from Manhattan.
what,
Who?
Louise?
Moana.
Moana.
I thought she was from Rhode Island.
Make Ray.
Mirror.
So we don't really know about money, and I kind of gave the Rotten Tomato away. It has a 94%, and audience.
When did you give it? When did you give it away?
She said it
at the beginning? I said it.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
I said I didn't
I
like
wasn't
it, she's
paying
like,
attention.
"Let me tell you
It
about
has
that
a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes and an 84% audience. Andre, what's the critic consensus?
Critics' consensus. This is
Tropey McTroperton."
of 250 reviews. It says, another gorgeously animated, skillfully voiced entry in the Disney canon. Raya and the Last Dragon continues the studio's increased representation while reaffirming that its classic formula is just as reliable as ever. So at the end of this movie, when it finished, the credits were rolling, I was like, they did it. They made another banger. This one is going to be super popular. People are going to be going
It
for
will
it
be.
just as hard as Tangled and maybe not quite Frozen, but
No, not as hard. No, nobody can go as hard
but
as Frozen
around
now.
those types of levels. I think that this is the Pocahontas of 2021. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I liked it. I'm
I'm
going
glad you liked
to
it.
give this movie an 8.5. I think it looked great. As the critics' consensus said, it had strong performances and cool action, and the story, as tropey as it was, did work for me.
Tropey.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I mean the tropes that it had kind of like the rescue mission, right? Go find the dragon, go find the gem pieces, and collect them all. Get revenge on your enemy / turn your enemy
Precious,
over
what does
to your
trophy
side.
mean?
Luis would like to know what a trope
Oh,
is.
what a trope is like a reoccurring theme in film or literature or anything like that. Video games counts too.
Mm.
You know.
I'm gonna give this movie an 8. I like it. It's good. I think for Disney though, I'm surprised at how predictable it was. Sometimes I feel like I'm like, oh, like there's always one moment I think in a movie when it's Disney where I'm like, oh, like kind of have like a, ooh, I like that they went there. Like this was very predictable to me. So for that reason, I'm going to give it an 8, but I really liked it and I thought it was good and I'm going to watch it again.
Word.
Can I throw this out there?
Mhm.
I know I'm keep saying it back to Moana, but like, for example, the fact that like Tafiti and Taka were the same thing.
Right. That was cool.
Like I
That
did
wasn't
not see that
predictable to
coming.
me.
Yeah.
No.
And when she like started walking out with the gem or the heart of Tafiti, I was like, "Oh no, Moana, you about to get stoned."
But the
no.
music like elevated that movie a ton
For
too,
sure.
though. Like that's
but
10
like,
out of 10.
I was not expecting that.
Right. And even in like Frozen, like I think like the Hans reveal is pretty
Oh,
good
for
and
sure.
out of left field.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
even though Tangled's one of my favorites, I most definitely was expecting like
It's predictable.
the tear was coming. Okay, it's gonna
We're gonna
all
do
right.
some hair
Everything's
magic.
great.
But
Everybody's gonna be okay.
but music elevates things for me. So I think if it's a predictable movie and it has like a super good soundtrack, then I get more in my feels with it.
Yeah.
But this didn't have that where I could really get into my feels.
Which I know that you said that you liked the score, but I thought it was unmemorable.
there were moments where I liked it.
The score was done by James Newton Howard.
It wasn't no John
did-
Williams. I'll be telling you that. No
It's
Hans
not
Zimmer.
Johnny Depp's
This
Hans
movie
Zimmer.
had music in it?
It had a score.
It didn't have no singing.
didn't
No, it
have
didn't
a-
have any singing.
Yeah.
You're not gonna sing Into the Unknown, Lou. Go ahead.
No. We need to post that video of Addie on the crack.
Oh, she
No.
she went off.
That's
Seriously.
That's Addie.
Oh.
He can only make that noise because she's asleep.
Did we all rate it?
What'd you rate it, Lou?
Luis in it.
I didn't either.
Luis, what do you want to give it?
8.
8 out of 10.
Emily?
So I'm not gonna give it as low as I think you think I'm gonna give it
Okay.
because there are good things about it.
Right.
The artistry, the animation is gorge,
Mhm.
right? Very very nice.
Mm-hmm.
The performances are really good. My issues are like the storytelling, story in general.
There were a lot of expository scenes where it's like, hey, I'm going to tell you something and we're going to put some cool animation over it so to kind of mask that we're just telling you something,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, there was.
Like it almost was like this is where a song could have been, but we're not doing a song.
Right.
So there's that. So I'm gonna give it like a 7.
7.
No, she said 6.
I said 7.
Oh,
7.
she said 7.
I said
I couldn't tell what you said. It was a
oh, you
sit?
you couldn't tell because Luis was giggling over it. What are you giggling at? If it is a soccer meme, I just am gonna be mad at you.
It's a soccer meme.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
I'm so glad that everyone is so invested in this podcast. You over here scrolling the IG too? Yeah.
yeah, you.
I'm just trying to hide my toots under this pillow.
It's not working.
That is my pillow.
She's tooting and booming. All
Toot
right,
boom.
you guys.
The more I think about it, that bug was pretty funny.
The bug was funny.
I like the bug.
baby was not.
Ugh,
The baby was cool.
no.
She could beat all of us up. There's nothing you can say about
Yeah,
it.
she
you know?
probably would.
She could definitely run faster than me.
Yeah,
Ooh,
she's-
Emily, you want to say
got
what we're
moves.
doing next time?
I do, because that does not. You know what? This was my explicit episode because the next one ain't gonna have no expletives because it's so
None.
good. Unless I say it's.
And I've never. Wait. Oh no, I know what we're doing. I thought we were.
Have
doing
you ever
something.
seen it?
I have.
Oh.
Twice maybe.
Well, this is gonna be your third time, and you're gonna live it 3 times more.
Mm.
What is it?
is The Princess Bride.
That's right. Next week we will be watching the live-action, non-Disney but now Disney
Exactly.
movie, The Princess Bride.
For my
Stoked.
birthday.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday. What day does this come out?
This one comes out on Monday the 15th. That's the episode that you're listening to right now. And then the Princess Bride episode will be out in 2 weeks after that on... Hang on. Where's my calendar? Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. On the 29th of March.
On my birthday.
Boom.
Be coming out
Bada
for my
bing,
birthday.
Happy
bada
birthday.
boom, bada bing, bada boom,
You're old.
ba-doom,
We are 30.
30 years old. Yes, so join us for that
Not
next week.
29.
We'll be watching The Princess Bride. Also, make sure you're keeping up with us on Patreon, patreon.com/The Walt Vault, because at some point a WandaVision review will be up there.
WandaVision.
Okay,
Emily and
well.
Louise finally watched it.
I like how you keep singing that, but I did not hear that song.
WandaVision. Yeah, it was on there. WandaVision. WandaVision.
So, dear,
WandaVision.
I would like to inform you that that's a song that you made up.
Yeah, that is not a song I
in the
heard.
show. The melody
it's
does
on
go
there.
dun 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 dun.
Yeah, but
dun.
you sing that, and that is not.
WandaVision. They say it one time.
No,
You
no,
sing
they
it.
don't. And then they go WandaVision.
Right, that's what I'm saying. No,
WandaVision.
no,
No,
not that
you're
part.
making that up because I waited.
No,
every
I'm
episode.
serious. They do that. It's on episode 2.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you. I waited every single episode to hear it
Mhm.
because you were singing it, and I was like, okay, we're gonna hear.
No, I didn't make
We
that
went back.
up.
We watched it twice. We went back and watched those first
And
two
they
episodes
did it.
again.
It was like WandaVision.
No, you sang it while they were going. Dun 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 dun. dun.
Put this on right now. I'm
WandaVision.
gonna prove you guys wrong.
Go ahead and bet me another 10,000.
No, I don't
Bet.
like to bet that. No bet.
So head over to Patreon.
but I can't wait.
WandaVision.
Check that out, and eventually we will release that to the general public as well.
Fine, I
but-
made my own jig then. It's fine.
my own jig, my own WandaVision jig.
You know what? It's St. Patrick's Day, so let's do it.
Yeah.
Oh lordy, laddies.
Wait, today's St. Patrick's Day?
No.
No,
Oh.
but when this comes
Wait,
out,
when is it on the 15th?
Oh, Monday?
When am I supposed to wear green?
you're using a green microphone right now.
That's right.
WandaVision.
It's the luck of the Irish.
You should have done the luck of the Irish.
Oh snap! Next year.
Yeah, next year.
Okay. Yeah. So stay tuned for all of that
WandaVision.
on the Walt Vault.
Oh, we're going to talk about WandaVision, so y'all better watch it.
Yes, we will be talking about it. We will also be talking about Captain America, or I keep saying Captain America: The Winter Soldier, but it's Falcon,
Falcon.
and the Winter Soldier.
It's pretty much the same thing.
Right, because Falcon is becoming Captain. Whatever. We're gonna be talking about that eventually too.
Y'all know who's whose.
You know what's what and what's who.
And we got to talk more about stupid Buggy.
And who's
Sorry,
what.
you can bleep that.
Freaking Buggy.
Luis is going to be so happy Buggy's back on screen.
I mean, I'm happy too. I'm happy everybody's back.
Well, you know what? I'm happy because now Cap's not going to be like choosing one over the other because he dead.
Right. He already chose one over the other. He's like, here, you take this shield, you know?
Trying to be over here with my honey buns.
Yeah. Well, never mind. MCU stuff, guys.
She be dead.
She dead. He's like, I'm just old over here. No shield to sit my butt on.
I can't go sledding no more.
Keep up with us on the internet. We are at the Walt Vault Pod on social media. That's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Go there. Talk to us. Let us know what you thought of Raya and the Last Dragon. Drop your scores in the comments.
You also think the trailer was better than the movie?
The trailer got you.
The trailer was good.
Right. Trailer was cool.
The movie was
Movie.
a movie.
I liked it. Sometimes that does happen. What was I saying? Send an email to contact@thewallvaultpod.com. Just like, did I leave this open? Just like Cian did. He emailed us again. He said, hello guys again. Yes, I know I've sent way too many emails. He said, with live action remakes, do you think Disney will just remake the old classics like Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, etc.? Or do you think like in 25 years we'll get a Frozen remake or a Moana remake or Tangled, etc.? That's all. Cian.
I would
I
pay
really
to
hope
watch a
not.
Moana one.
And The Rock is there and he's like 65 years old.
I would pay to watch a Moana one for sure.
I don't want
Frozen?
a live action
No.
remake of those that quickly.
No, that's why he said 20
He
years,
said in
girl.
like 20 years.
What do you mean that quickly?
I mean, it's just what is happening?
What's happening?
Who's
I
stringing the
thought it
song?
was a dude. It was a guitar.
I thought he had a guitar
Okay,
under the
20
table.
years from now isn't that quick, first
Hold
off.
on. You said
Moana,
okay.
yes.
Hold on.
Rest,
Seeing.
no.
You said classic. So you talking like Denny Renaissance?
Well, he's saying, are they gonna just do the remakes of the movies that we loved in the 90s, or do you think that they're going to continue doing remakes of everything? So
I hope not.
the freaking Chicken Little live action remake.
Oh my
we go through the 2000s, you know, Princess and the Frog live action
No.
remake, Tangled
No.
live action remake, all of those things.
No
Here's
chicken.
I don't remember when we talked about this, but we did talk about it at some
No.
point that we are not huge fans like us on this podcast.
Mhm.
We are not and I think actually a lot of people are not huge fans of live action Disney remakes.
Right.
Even live action in general, because they don't live up to the expectation in general of remaking something that was already really good.
They're better.
Yeah.
They're better at animation,
Yeah.
like hands down. No
Like,
question.
Would I watch a Hercules live action? Yes, I would. But
Right.
would I be like really happy?
I don't
with the
really
end
need
product?
it.
Probably
I
not.
don't need it.
Right.
I'd rather just go back and watch Hercules.
So I think, Cian, the answer to your question is probably not. I think that they're going to find out after their next couple live action remakes or
Yeah.
whatever, or they'll continue to do this alternate vein where they do a Maleficent or a Cruella, where it's from a different perspective of a character.
Which
or
I'm
something
down
like that.
with.
Which I do like those. So if they
I
do
cannot wait for Cruella.
a-
Okay.
a Moana movie that's called Maui, or something like, or
Mhm.
I don't know if that's what they would do, but something
Tekka.
something in that nature.
or a fabulous crustacean.
Oh God, no! I don't want to see.
Absolutely
I do not
not.
want to see
hard.
that movie.
I would watch
Absolutely
it so
not.
hard.
Hey, guess what? I'm shiny for a whole hour and a half. No thanks. Oh, there is a guitar under there. Okay. So
I knew there was a guitar under there.
Speaking of, I was gonna bring this up earlier. I'm holding an Elena of Avalor guitar because
Mhm.
it's oh my god, Adeline actually stole this from one of our friends.
Okay, cool.
She's a little thief.
Cool
She's
thievery.
like that freaking toddler baby.
Aha!
baby.
See, they're real.
It's freaking ridiculous. But I thought about Elena of Avalor, Michelle, when you were saying that Raya would have been a cool TV show.
Mhm.
And while I agree with you, I think I would have enjoyed like the storytelling a little bit better. I think that the Asian community would be mad about that
Because it
Rightfully
would
so.
because it wasn't a film.
because it wasn't a film. Because I remember many people talking about it like outlined in movies, but also people telling me in general like, so you're telling me that the first Hispanic princess is a TV show and she ain't a movie? Like, I'm not about that.
Right.
Right? Because Elena of Avalor was of Hispanic descent,
Mhm.
right? So, but she didn't get a movie, and people were upset about that.
Right.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, I can see that. I just think from
But
the
I agree
from
that
like the fantasy world
Yeah.
perspective, it would be a cool TV show.
Agreed.
Right.
Like I'm not thinking about the other stuff. I'm just like that'd be cool.
No,
Yeah.
I agree with you.
That's kind of why I think that.
But that's what I was thinking about pros and cons of that particular like subject.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I think that might be the model that they go with from now on. Because before they would do a movie, it hits, it makes gajillions of dollars or whatever, and then they do a direct-to-DVD sequel or whatever, and then they do the cartoon TV show of it on Disney Channel. Or
They
whatever.
need to do like.
But I think
DVDs
they've
and-
learned that they can skip that sequel and just do a highly produced TV show, and that'll probably bring in more people than. Yeah, exactly.
I'm stuck on WandaVision. We
Lemon
gotta let our
Joe.
listeners go so I can put on
Joe.
episode 2 and be proven correct.
Go
No
ahead and-
only mention.
Yeah, I don't know if that'll pan out.
WandaVision.
You can send an email to contact@waltvault.com, just like Cian did. We'll read your message on the show.
The Walt Vault.
The Walt Vault.
Walt
Buy some merch on
The
the
Walt Vault.
Bonfire store.
Bibbidi-boo-bidi-boo.
I think that's it. We will see you next week for some Princess Bridey goodness. Marriage. That's been it for this week.
Inconceivable.
We'll see you guys next time. The vault is now closed.